Chapter 23:12. Since Mo Qingyun had seen through the illusion, the green lightning illusory realm was no longer vast in his eyes. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed a few times before he arrived in front of Shi Yi's primordial spirit and looked at him indifferently. Mo Qingyun, Shi Yi's primordial spirit, who was curled up in the corner, saw Mo Qingyun and immediately trembled in fear. He could not believe that Mo Qingyun could find him in the vast green lightning illusory realm. This situation really frightened him quite a bit. In your current state, living is also a kind of suffering. Let me end your suffering. Looking at Shi Yi's primordial spirit below, Mo Qingyun said calmly and announced Shi Yi's death. After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he did not wait for Shi Yi to beg for mercy and slammed his palm down. No, I don't want to die. Facing Mo Qingyun's giant palm, Shi Yi's primordial spirit was terrified and unwillingly cried out loudly. Before Shi Yi's primordial spirit could finish speaking, he was submerged by the giant palm, and his pleading voice came to an abrupt end. Just as I guessed, everything here is just an illusion. After chasing after Shi Yi, Mo Qingyun had a definite answer to his previous conjecture. Mo Qingyun muttered to himself. He sat down on the spot and continued to crack the illusion of the green lightning illusory realm. Under Mo Qingyun's perception, the illusion around him dissipated little by little and revealed the original appearance of the green lightning illusory realm. As time passed, the illusion around Mo Qingyun dissipated faster and faster, and the space that dissipated became wider and wider. A radius of 10 miles, 100 miles, 1,000 miles after an unknown period of time, Mo Qingyun found Shi Qiu and the others chasing after a green-haired child. A child? After discovering the green-haired child, Mo Qingyun frowned, and a sense of surprise rose in his heart. He did not expect that there would be such a strange child in the green lightning illusory realm. What surprised Mo Qingyun even more was that the green-haired child's aura had reached the level of a quasi-nebular realm. Where did this child come from? He actually has such powerful strength. After discovering the green-haired child's abnormality, Mo Qingyun's heart was filled with doubts, and he became curious about the green-haired child. Mo Qingyun thought for a moment and suddenly had a bold idea. He was shocked and said, "Is this strange child related to the green lightning spiritual pearl?" With this thought, he did not want to delay and immediately rushed to the green-haired child's green lightning illusory realm. If it was as he guessed, he could not let Shi Qiu and the others take the initiative. He had to control the blue-haired child before they did. It wasn't long before Mo Qingyun arrived in front of the blue-haired child and blocked his path. Are you here to capture me like those bad guys?" Seeing Mo Qingyun blocking his way, the green-haired child panicked and looked at Mo Qingyun with fear. Mo Qingyun did not answer the green-haired child's question. Instead, he looked at him carefully. What a powerful thunderbolt power! Under Mo Qingyun's observation, he discovered that the blue-haired child's body contained a terrifying power of thunder. After this discovery, Mo Qingyun was even more certain that the green-haired child was related to the green lightning spiritual pearl. At this moment, while Mo Qingyun was looking at the green-haired child, Shi Qiu and the others caught up. Mo Qingyun, he actually entered the green lightning illusory realm. Seeing Mo Qingyun not far away, Shi Qiu immediately showed a surprised expression and a doubt arose in his heart. What happened outside? How did this kid sneak in? Did someone else come in? In his opinion, Shi Yi and Shi Yun were guarding outside, so no one should be able to come in. After thinking hard for a while, Shi Qiu stopped thinking about it. His expression gradually became gloomy, and he said, "Humph! Last time, you escaped from the fire Qilin City. This time, I won't give you another chance. Go, kill this kid for me." After Shi Qiu's words, he did not talk nonsense with Mo Qingyun and immediately ordered the people around him. Hearing Shi Qiu's order, the people around Shi Qiu immediately responded and surrounded Mo Qingyun and Shi Qiu. Seeing that Shi Qiu and the others wanted to deal with Mo Qingyun, the green-haired child blinked and smiled at Mo Qingyun. He said, "So you're not with them. Then you're a good person. Let's teach them a lesson together. Okay?" Okay. Mo Qingyun did not hesitate to agree to the green-haired child's suggestion. In his opinion, winning the green-haired child's favor would help him find the green lightning spiritual pearl. "I'll deal with this guy. He was the one who hurt me just now." After discussing with Mo Qingyun, the green-haired child raised his finger and pointed at Shi Qiu, looking very angry. After the green-haired child finished speaking, he took the lead and charged out, fighting fiercely with Shi Qiu. Seeing that the green-haired child had attacked, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate and immediately attacked the others. These people's cultivations were not strong. They were even weaker than Shi Yi and Shi Yin. They were basically late true saints. Although there were more people, Mo Qingyun would only need to spend a little more time to deal with them. "Let's attack with all our might and end this kid quickly so that we can help the Stonehill people." The experts of the Heavenly Dragon Rock race glanced at Mo Qingyun and charged at Mo Qingyun. Facing the attack of the Heavenly Dragon Rock race, Mo Qingyun's expression did not change at all. He took the initiative to meet one of them. "Kid, you're asking to die." Seeing Mo Qingyun take the initiative to meet him, this being from the Heavenly Dragon Rock race showed a sinister smile. In his opinion, with Mo Qingyun's cultivation level, facing him head-on was suicide. Then, he did not retreat and punched at Mo Qingyun. He threw out a punch, which was immediately surrounded by holy power and turned into a huge stone fist. Facing the huge stone fist, Mo Qingyun didn't retreat at all. Instead, he met it with a punch. Rumble. Under Mo Qingyun's punch, the stone fist immediately exploded and turned into dust. With Mo Qingyun's quasi-cosmic cloud state body, only a cosmic cloud state magic artifact could block his attack. After shattering the opponent's punch, Mo Qingyun did not slow down at all and continued to chase after him. "What? My all-out attack was actually easily defeated by this brat." Seeing Mo Qingyun's shocking performance, this person's expression changed drastically. His face turned pale. Before he could ease the panic in his heart, Mo Qingyun's fist approached and landed directly on his chest. Under Mo Qingyun's punch, the chest of this being from the Heavenly Dragon Rock race immediately exploded. After his body was destroyed by Mo Qingyun's punch, the essence spirit of this being from the Heavenly Dragon Rock race immediately escaped from his body in a panic. However, as soon as his primordial spirit escaped, an oppressive eye light blasted his primordial spirit. Puffed. Under the bombardment of the eye force, this powerhouse's primordial spirit was instantly blasted apart. Seeing this scene, the surrounding Sky Star Dragon Rock powerhouses were all scared out of their wits. With one punch and one look, he had killed a late-stage true Saint expert. Chapter 23:13. This kid's strength is much stronger than before. I'm afraid Shirun and the rest are no match for him. Seeing Mo Qingyun's strength, Shi Qiu, who was fighting with the green-haired kid, immediately tensed up. This unforeseen event was a little out of his expectations. Because of Mo Qingyun's amazing performance, the situation had turned 180 degrees, and they were in a passive position. "Oomph. Who asked you bad guys to bully me? Now it's your retribution." Seeing that the Celestial Dragon Rockland's powerhouse was killed, the green-haired kid smiled proudly and gloated. Hearing the green-haired kid's words, Shi Qiu's face turned even uglier. He said to the Celestial Dragon Rock Clan, "You guys deal with this kid. I'll deal with Mo Qingyun myself." After telling everyone, Shi Qiu rushed toward Mo Qingyun, releasing a strong murderous intent. Imperial Dragon 9th Heaven Break. When Shi Qiu attacked Mo Qingyun, he put his fist in front of his chest and condensed a terrifying saint power. The saint power condensed into a huge ball of light and was blasted toward Mo Qingyun by Shi Qiu, turning into 9 stone dragons. Fire of civilization, demonic star, splitting palm. Facing the 9 stone dragons, Mo Qingyun did not dare to be careless and immediately attacked the stone dragons with his palm. Then, The 9 stone dragons that were blasted toward Mo Qingyun were hit by his palm one after another. Bang, bang, bang. A series of loud noises were heard. The 9 stone dragons that were attacking Mo Qingyun were all blasted into powder by Mo Qingyun's continuous attacks. After blocking Shi Qiu's attack, Mo Qingyun did not stop and immediately approached Shi Qiu. Shi and the other two before were too weak to test my strength. I hope you won't disappoint me. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed, and in the blink of an eye, he was in front of Shi Qiu and threw a punch at Shi Qiu. Mo Qingyun threw a punch, and flames immediately burst out from his fist, blasting out a fist shadow like the sun. What kind of fortuitous encounter did this brat have during this period of time? How did his strength increase so much? In the face of Mo Qingyun's fist radiance, Shi Qiu's expression turned serious. He stopped underestimating Mo Qingyun. While Shi Qiu was still in shock, he did not dare to be careless. He swung his fist at Mo Qingyun and said coldly, "Humph! No matter what fortuitous encounter you encountered, your realm is ultimately limited. I can still use my cultivation to crush you." Boom! Their fists collided, resulting in a massive explosion, creating a terrifying storm of energy. 2 energy shields with powerful auras formed around Mo Qingyun and Mo Qingyun's bodies, enveloping the two of them. For a moment, Mo Qingyun and Shi Qiu were in a stalemate. This kid's body is so strong. It's a bit stronger than mine. It's almost comparable to a quasi-cosmic cloud state divine weapon. Seeing how strong Mo Qingyun's body was, Shi Qiu's eyes were filled with shock. He was even more wary of Mo Qingyun. The Heaven Spirit Dragonstone race was famous for their powerful body in the Dragonstone system. Yet, they were still no match for Mo Qingyun. To him, this matter was simply unbelievable. Explode. After colliding with Shi Qiu's fist, Mo Qingyun did not retreat. Instead, he immediately shook his arm. Then, an even more terrifying force burst out from Mo Qingyun's fist. The energy surged out and rushed into Shi Qiu's body overbearingly, attacking his 5 viscera and 6 bowels. Bang, bang, bang. Under the impact of Mo Qingyun's fist force, there was a series of rumbling sounds coming from Shi Qiu's body. Then, Shi Qiu was sent flying, and blood seeped out from the corner of his mouth. He was injured. No, this is impossible. How can you injure me? Under Mo Qingyun's attack, he was injured. Shi Qiu's eyes were filled with shock. A few days ago, the person in his eyes was like an ant. Now, he could injure him. This huge psychological gap made him feel very uncomfortable. What? Brother Shi Qiu is injured. With that kid's cultivation at the 9th level of the 9 Heavens Xian Immortal Realm, how could he injure clan brother Shi Qiu? Could it be that this kid came from a 2-star realm? But why would a prodigy from that place come to the path of stars to cultivate? This kid is too monstrous. I'm afraid only brother Shi Qiu and the others can suppress him. Seeing Mo Qingyun's astonishing performance, Shi Run and the others were shocked. Their faces were filled with astonishment. Of course, while they were shocked in their hearts, they were more frightened and fearful. Even Shi Qiu was not a match for Mo Qingyun. If Mo Qingyun wanted to deal with them, wouldn't they be dead for sure? This kid is too strange. I can't deal with him alone. Looks like I have to think of a long-term plan. After calming down, Shi Qiu regained his composure. He gave Shi Run and the others a look and said, "Retreat. Let's leave the Green Lightning Illusory Realm first and meet up with Brother Shi Run." Yes. Hearing Shi Qiu's order, Shi Run and the others immediately nodded and left with Shi Qiu. Humph. Did I say you could leave? You're in such a hurry to leave. Seeing Shi Qiu and the others' actions, Mo Qingyun snorted coldly. He chased after Shi Qiu and said, "Little guy, stop the others. Don't let any of them escape." Okay. Hearing Mo Qingyun's order, the green-haired child was excited and immediately chased after Shi Run and the others. When the green-haired child caught up with Shi Run and the others, a terrifying lightning energy erupted from his body. Following that, the terrifying lightning energy enveloped an area with a radius of 50 kilometers. Lightning prison. The lightning energy enveloped the surrounding area and formed a huge cage, blocking Serene and the others' escape route. Seeing such a situation, Serene and the others were immediately shocked, their faces turning pale. Seeing that they were trapped, Sergio also revealed a flustered look and said, "Don't tangle with them. Break the lightning prison and leave this place first." "Humph. Want to break the lightning prison? You'll have to ask if I give you a chance." Seeing Sergio's action, Mo Qingyun came in front of him and blasted a punch at him again. Facing Mo Qingyun's attack, Sergio did not dare to be distracted at all and immediately blocked Mo Qingyun's attack. Following that, Mo Qingyun fought with Sergio again. The battle was earth-shattering, like a raging fire. As he kept exchanging blows with Mo Qingyun, the shock in Sergio's heart became more and more intense. This brat's physical body is too strong. Continuing to exchange blows like this, my physical body won't be able to withstand it. After fighting with Mo Qingyun for dozens of times, Sergio realized that things were not good and did not dare to confront Mo Qingyun head-on anymore. Seeing Sergio's action, Mo Qingyun revealed a mocking look and said, "That day in the Fire Dragon Qilin City, weren't you high and mighty? Why are you like a stray dog today, fleeing for your life pathetically under my attack?" The moment he heard Mo Qingyun's words, Sergio was immediately enraged, unable to tolerate this kind of humiliation. Chapter 23:14. You can kill me, but you can't humiliate me. You gone too far. Sergio stopped running and gritted his teeth as he turned to glare at Mo Qingyun. Then, one by one, the Saint Power Star clusters with imposing auras emerged from his body. As soon as the Saint Power Star clusters were brought out, the aura that Sergio exuded immediately increased by several times. Summoning all the Saint Power Star clusters, Sergio controlled them to form a miniature galaxy. He said, "Mo Qingyun, you made me condense the Saint Power Star cluster in advance. Today, I will skin you alive and pull out your tendons to pay for this." A total of 726 Sacred Force Star clusters. This Sergio is indeed very talented. Seeing the number of Saint Power Star clusters that Sergio had condensed, Mo Qingyun was shocked. He could not help but think highly of Sergio. While Mo Qingyun was surprised, Sergio finished forming the Sacred Force solar system. His chi soared again. At this moment, Sergio's chi was on par with Sercien's. So, after reaching the cosmic cloud state, you can form the Sacred Force Star cluster into a solar system and borrow the power of other solar systems. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun understood more about the cosmic cloud state. Soon after, Mo Qingyun stopped underestimating Sergio and didn't dare to underestimate him in the slightest. "Come out." Seeing that Sergio's strength had increased greatly, Mo Qingyun also took out the Saint Power Star cluster to increase his combat power. 18 flaming Sacred Force Star clusters appeared around Mo Qingyun and formed 2 Nine Temples formations. As the Saint Power Star cluster formed the Nine Palaces formation, the aura that Mo Qingyun released also soared several times. This is the Sacred Force Star cluster, or the Sacred Force solar system. Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, Sergio's expression changed as shock rose in his heart. As far as he knew, he had never heard of anyone in the Nine Heavens Xian immortal realm successfully forming a Saint Power Star cluster. This kid is very strange indeed. He can't be judged by common sense. Seeing Mo Qingyun's astonishing performance again and again, the last bit of contempt in Sergio's heart disappeared at this moment. When Sergio stopped underestimating his opponent, his curiosity about Mo Qingyun intensified. This kid must have many secrets. If I can unearth them, it will be of great benefit to my future cultivation. With this thought in mind, Sergio did not want to waste any more time and immediately attacked Mo Qingyun. Imperial Dragon, Nine Heavens Break. Sergio raised his hand and waved at the void. a mysterious and powerful force gathered in his palm. Immediately after, these powerful and mysterious energies transformed into huge stone dragons. Roar. Once the stone dragons were formed, they raised their heads and roared. Then, they charged toward Mo Qingyun. Under the flight of these stone dragons, it immediately caused the weather to change, producing waves of terrifying lightning energy. Clearly, Shurchio's Imperial Dragon 9 Heavens Break was much stronger than before. So strong. Seeing the stone dragons attacking him, Mo Qingyun's expression became serious. He immediately waved his hand and attacked the stone dragons. One by one, giant flaming palms with threatening auras blasted out from Mo Qingyun's palms to meet the approaching stone dragons. Thud, thud, thud. The flaming palms struck the stone dragons and immediately exploded with loud sounds, stopping the stone dragons from moving forward. However, it only lasted for a moment. Under the impact of the stone dragons, the flaming palms began to dissipate. Thud, thud, thud. After dispersing the flaming palms, the stone dragon's attacks disappeared and landed on Mo Qingyun's body. Mo Qingyun was blasted back repeatedly by the stone dragon's repeated attacks, and the blood in his body surged. So strong. Mo Qingyun's face tensed up. Is this the power of a cosmic cloud state? Once they fight with their lives on the line, it's indeed very scary. While Mo Qingyun was shocked, he was also thinking quickly about how to resolve the current situation. Should he run or fight with his life on the line? If he ran, the green-haired child would clearly be captured. In this way, the clues that he wanted to find the green thunder spirit bead would be cut off. Perhaps, after Shurchio captured the green-haired child, he would find the green thunder spirit orb first. This wasn't something he wanted to see. Go for it. As soon as Mo Qingyun thought about it, he made a decision and a sense of pride welled up in his heart. Mo Qingyun, I admit that you're very strong and talented, but your state is too low. Looking at Mo Qingyun, Shurchio showed a smug smile and said regretfully, if you had enough time to cultivate for another 1,000 years, perhaps I really wouldn't be a match for you. Unfortunately, you won't have that chance. As soon as Shurchio finished speaking, his figure moved and charged towards Mo Qingyun once again. My state isn't enough? Then I'll break through until it's enough. Looking at Shurchio, who was charging at him, Mo Qingyun shouted to the sky, exuding a strong sense of heroism. Then, Mo Qingyun's aura began to skyrocket. The complete 9th Heaven Xian Immortal Realm, the Quasi-Saint Realm, and a Half-Step Saint Realm. Boom, boom, boom. As Mo Qingyun's aura skyrocketed, the wind and clouds above him began to change. Terrifying clouds of fire gathered. Seeing this, Shurchio's expression immediately changed. His eyes flashed with shock as he said in shock, the flame of civilization tribulation. This kid actually triggered the flame of civilization tribulation when he broke through to the Saint Realm. This situation really shocked Shurchio. From what he knew, only the Lord of Civilization would trigger the flame of civilization tribulation. Kid, if you're courting death, I won't accompany you. Seeing Mo Qingyun's crazy actions, Shurchio was so frightened that his expression trembled. He immediately distanced himself from Mo Qingyun. He wasn't very clear about how terrifying the flame of civilization tribulation was, but he knew that he couldn't withstand it. As soon as Shurchio finished speaking, he charged at the blue-haired child, as if he was going to kill him first. Seeing Shurchio's actions, Mo Qingyun's gaze turned cold. He shouted at the blue-haired child, "Little guy, come to me quickly. I'll send you to a safe place." Okay. Since he had gone through thick and thin with Mo Qingyun, the blue-haired child didn't doubt or think too much about Mo Qingyun's words. As soon as the blue-haired child finished speaking, he flew towards Mo Qingyun and arrived at Mo Qingyun's side in the blink of an eye. Seeing the blue-haired child come to his side, Mo Qingyun immediately sent him to the Fortune mainland to prevent him from being affected by the flame of civilization tribulation. Mo Qingyun, Seeing that the blue-haired child was gone, Shurchio immediately became furious. His expression was as dark as ink as he glared at Mo Qingyun. However, his fear of the flame of civilization tribulation prevented him from getting close to Mo Qingyun. He could only sulk at a distance. Chapter 23:15. Boom, boom, boom. Under the gaze of Shurchio and the others, streaks of terrifying flames descended from the sky. Seeing these flames descending, Shurchio and the others' expressions immediately became tense. They wanted to know if Mo Qingyun could withstand the bombardment of the fire of civilization. The fire of civilization tribulation is also made of the fire of civilization. Then I'll refine you. Looking at the fire of civilization smashing towards him, Mo Qingyun's expression froze, and his body exuded a heroic spirit. Immediately, Mo Qingyun released the fire of civilization, attracted the falling fireballs to him, and began to refine them. Under the guidance of Mo Qingyun, all the fireballs gathered towards him and soon engulfed him. Seeing Mo Qingyun's shocking action, Shurchio and the others were shocked, and their eyes were filled with horror. Is this kid crazy? Is he going to commit suicide by attracting the fire of civilization to himself? Is this the fire of civilization tribulation? If I touch it, I'll definitely be burned to ashes. Do you think that boy is still alive after being burned by the fire of civilization? I don't know. Maybe he's already dead. According to Shurchio and the others' understanding, Mo Qingyun should not be able to survive. Although they guessed that Mo Qingyun was already dead, Shurchio and the others did not dare to make a move. Because if they made a move at this time, the tribulation would mistakenly think that they were also going to break through. They did not have the courage to try to refine the fire of civilization like Mo Qingyun. Next, under everyone's gaze, more and more fireballs descended, and their power became stronger and stronger. Slowly, the area covered by the fire of civilization outside Mo Qingyun's body was constantly expanding. 100 meters, 1,000 meters, 10 miles, 100 miles. Unknowingly, an area of nearly 1,000 miles around Mo Qingyun had been covered by the fire of civilization. Seeing this scene, Shurchio and the others all widened their eyes, and even their heartbeats became faster. Brother Shurchio, this kid should be dead. Let's leave this place. Run suggested to Shurchio when he saw the fire of civilization covering thousands of miles of land. His face was tense. Hearing Run's words, Shurchio hesitated, considering if he should leave this place. Shurchio hesitated for a moment, but he still decided to stay. He said in a low voice, "This kid is too strange. We can't let him continue to grow. We have to get rid of him as soon as possible. I'll wait and see." Hearing Shurchio's words, Run and the others nodded in agreement. Then, Shurchio and the others waited outside to confirm whether Mo Qingyun was dead or not. Time slowly passed. In the center of the flames, Mo Qingyun sat cross-legged with a solemn expression. All of a sudden, Mo Qingyun opened his eyes, and the aura around him skyrocketed. "I finally made it through." After withstanding the impact of the fire of civilization, Mo Qingyun's expression relaxed, and his tensed heart was finally at ease. At this moment, Mo Qingyun's aura reached a whole new level. Since my cultivation has broken through, it's time to refine the fire of civilization. Seeing that his cultivation had broken through, Mo Qingyun did not delay at all and immediately cultivated to stabilize his realm. While Mo Qingyun was stabilizing his realm, the fire of civilization around him was absorbed into his body. As the fire of civilization entered his body, it burned Mo Qingyun's body, making his body endure the burning again and again. Constantly enduring the burning of the fire of civilization, Mo Qingyun's physical strength became stronger little by little. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun was immediately overjoyed. This was an unexpected gain. A few days later, under Mo Qingyun's dedicated cultivation, his realm was completely stabilized. His face was full of anticipation, and he said, Since my realm is stabilized, next, it's time to condense the Saint Power Star Cluster. I wonder how many I can increase this time. With this thought in mind, Mo Qingyun continued to refine the fire of civilization and condense the Saint Power Star Cluster in his body. Immediately, one Saint Power Star Cluster after another condensed in Mo Qingyun's body. As the Saint Power Star Cluster continued to condense, Mo Qingyun's aura began to increase rapidly. As he continued to refine the fire of civilization, the number of fire of civilization around him began to decrease. Seeing the fire of civilization decreasing, Shi Qiu and the others were immediately shocked, and their expressions became tense. What's going on? Why is the fire of civilization decreasing? It should be the end of the fire of civilization tribulation, and the power of the tribulation is slowly dissipating. Do you think the decreasing fire of civilization has something to do with that kid? In the face of such a terrifying tribulation, how could that kid still be alive? If that kid is still alive, then he's really a monster. Looking at the decreasing fire of civilization, Shi Qiu and the others looked solemn, and their eyes were fixed on the fire of civilization. Just like that, Shi Qiu and the others waited for a few more days. Over the past few days, the flaming clouds in the sky had slowly dissipated. Not long after the flame clouds dissipated, the fire of civilization below disappeared, revealing Mo Qingyun's figure. Seeing Mo Qingyun sitting cross-legged on the ground, Shi Qiu and the others all trembled, and their eyes were filled with shock. Mo Qingyun was still alive. After being burned by such a terrifying flame, he was still alive. His life was too tenacious. His cultivation has broken through to the saint realm. Sensing Mo Qingyun's aura, Shi Qiu was immediately shocked, and his entire person froze on the spot. This situation was not good news for him. Mo Qingyun's cultivation had broken through, and his strength would definitely increase greatly, so they were in a dangerous situation. At this moment, Shi Qiu's heart was filled with regret, and he regretted that he had stayed behind. This was because he could not guarantee that he could still deal with Mo Qingyun after his cultivation had skyrocketed. What a pity! If only there were more fire of civilization, my Dragon Source Overlord body would have been completed. While Shi Qiu and the others were still in shock, Mo Qingyun opened his eyes, and a look of pity appeared on his face. When Mo Qingyun saw Shi Qiu and the others, the corners of his mouth curled into a cold smile. He said, "So you haven't. Thank you so much for protecting me." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Shi Qiu and the others' faces immediately darkened, and they emitted a wave of anger. They did not protect Mo Qingyun. They just wanted to see if Mo Qingyun was dead. After teasing Shi Qiu and the others, Mo Qingyun's expression turned cold. He slowly walked towards them and said, "Since you don't want to leave, then all of you can stay." After finishing his words, Mo Qingyun did not wait for Shi Qiu and the others to say anything and immediately rushed towards them. Chapter 23:16. Humph. Even if you've broken through, you're only in the saint realm. Looking at Mo Qingyun, who was getting closer and closer, Shi Qiu snorted coldly and went up to meet Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun's eyes flashed with mockery at Shi Qiu's arrogant words. He said, "Although I've only broken through to the saint realm, with my current cultivation, it's enough to deal with a few of you." As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he took out the Saint Power Star Cluster and emitted a terrifying aura. 200 Saint Power Star Clusters were taken out and formed 2 Nine Temples formations, emitting a terrifying flame power. 200 Saint Power Star Clusters. Seeing the number of Saint Power Star Clusters Mo Qingyun had, Shi Qiu was shocked. His face kept twitching. As far as he knew, even someone in the middle stage of the true Saint realm could only form 100 Saint Power Star Clusters. After this comparison, the number of Saint Power Star Clusters Mo Qingyun had formed was more than 20 times that of others. When Mo Qingyun took out the Saint Power Star Cluster, his figure did not stop at all and continued to approach Shi Qiu. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed a few times, and he arrived in front of Shurqiu. He swung his fist at Shurqiu. As Mo Qingyun swung his fist, a terrifying flame power gathered outside his body. At this moment, Mo Qingyun had become a fiery war god in the eyes of others. Bang, bang, bang. As he was too close to Mo Qingyun, Shurqiu's body was immediately ignited. Balls of scorching flames appeared. This holy glory superpower. It's a natal superpower that can only be awakened when one breaks through to the saint realm. Seeing the flames on Mo Qingyun's body, Shurqiu's heart skipped a beat. He said in horror, "What kind of monster is this kid?" He broke through to the saint realm and not only triggered the fire of civilization tribulation, but he also awakened the holy glory superpower. Holy glory superpower? Hearing Shurqiu's shocking words, Mo Qingyun was slightly stunned. He just realized the situation. He found that everything near him had been ignited by the fire of civilization. What a powerful, holy, glory, divine ability. Seeing his current performance, Mo Qingyun was pleasantly surprised. He said excitedly, "If that's the case, won't I have an additional passive ability when I fight?" While Mo Qingyun was overjoyed, his attacks did not slow down at all. He continued to bombard the stone mound. Fists that looked like scorching suns flew out of Mo Qingyun's fists and smashed down on Shurqiu. Stone Dragon Seal. Facing Mo Qingyun's storm-like attacks, Shurqiu did not dare to be careless. He immediately defended against Mo Qingyun's attacks. As Shurqiu waved his hand, waves of powerful rock saint energy blasted out from his palm. The rock saint power blasted out and condensed into a stone wall not far away from him. Boom, boom, boom. The giant flaming fist blasted the stone wall and immediately exploded with a terrifying impact, breaking the stone wall one by one. When the stone wall was broken, it turned into pieces of fiery red meteorites and smashed towards Shurqiu. Facing the meteorites, Shurqiu could not dodge at all. He was immediately hit by a few meteorites. Under the continuous bombardment of the meteorites, Shurqiu was immediately seriously injured. A trace of blood flowed from the corner of his mouth. Before Shurqiu could suppress his injuries, the giant flaming fist approached and smashed into his body. Boom! After being hit by the giant flaming fist, Shurqiu was immediately blown away and fell to the ground. Brother Shurqiu has lost. That kid only used one move. How? How could this be? Even if he has broken through to the saint realm, he shouldn't be so powerful. Let's run. Otherwise, we'll all die here. Seeing the current situation, Run and the rest did not dare to hesitate and immediately ran away. None of you can escape. After sending Shurqiu flying with a punch, Mo Qingyun's figure did not stop. He immediately attacked Run and the rest. Under Mo Qingyun's pursuit, he quickly arrived in front of Run and the rest and attacked them. Boom, boom, boom. As Mo Qingyun approached, Run and the rest were also ignited in flames. Run and the rest were limited in their realm. They were not as powerful as Shurqiu. They were burned by the fire of civilization and were immediately seriously injured. They all screamed in pain. Mo Qingyun was not affected by the miserable state of Run and the rest. He decisively killed them. To be merciful to the enemy is to be cruel to oneself. Mo Qingyun had already seen through this principle. After Mo Qingyun killed Run and the rest, Shurqiu got up from the ground. He looked extremely embarrassed. "You, how dare you kill Run and the rest?" Seeing Run and the rest killed, Shurqiu immediately gnashed his teeth in anger. A surge of intense rage rose in his heart. Their Big Dipper Dragon Rock Clan's people had roamed unhindered in the path of the Milky Way for millions of years. They had never been in such a sorry state like today. Don't be nervous. You'll accompany them very soon. Regarding Shurqiu's anger, Mo Qingyun did not care at all. He narrated in a calm tone. In Mo Qingyun's view, he had already killed so many anyway. Killing one or two more did not matter. Mo Qingyun's figure moved, flying towards Shirchio once more, preparing to kill Shirchio. "Brat, you're going against my Big Dipper Dragon Rock clan. You won't have a good end." Seeing Mo Qingyun rushing towards him, Shirchio threw down a vicious sentence and fled into the distance. Through the exchange earlier, he already saw that he was no longer Mo Qingyun's match. Although he was unwilling to accept this, the truth was right in front of him. He had no choice but to accept it. "With your snail speed, do you think you can escape from me?" Seeing Shirchio fleeing in a panic, Mo Qingyun's lips curled into a cold smile. He walked towards Shirchio at a steady pace. The scene in Shirchio's eyes was an illusion. Hence, the distance he was fleeing was not the real distance. In this way, how could he be compared to Mo Qingyun? Mo Qingyun's movement speed was even faster than Shirchio's as he strolled around. This situation scared Shirchio out of his wits. How? How could this be? Seeing Mo Qingyun getting closer and closer, Shirchio was so scared that he was fuming with anger. His face turned as white as a sheet of paper. Even when he was fleeing with all his might, his speed was still slower than Mo Qingyun's. How could he not feel hopeless? After a while, Mo Qingyun arrived in front of Shirchio and blocked his path. "Looks like you're at your wit's end. In that case, I'll send you on your way." Standing in front of Shirchio, Mo Qingyun said coldly as he swung his saber at Shirchio. As Mo Qingyun swung his saber, a powerful flaming saber radiance shot toward Shirchio. In the face of the flaming saber radiance, Shirchio immediately moved to block it. Boom! Under the attack of the flaming saber radiance, Shirchio's hasty defense was destroyed like a mantis trying to stop a chariot. Then, Shirchio's eyes widened as he watched the flaming saber radiance pierce through his body. "No, this can't be real. I can't be defeated." Without waiting for Shirchio to finish speaking, Mo Qingyun appeared in front of him, raised his hand, and crushed his head. Chapter 23:17. After Mo Qingyun killed Shirchio, he kept Shirchio's body and prepared to refine it into a spiritual puppet. Shirchio was a Nebula Realm elite. Using his body to refine a spiritual puppet would be very powerful. Putting away Shirchio's corpse, Mo Qingyun looked at the corpses of Shirun and the others. Pity appeared on his face. He said, "These people's bodies were too weak. Under the burning of the fire of civilization, they were all destroyed." Mo Qingyun sighed and ignored the bodies of Shirun and the others. He started to refine Shirchio's body. He is indeed a galaxy-grade celestial dragonstone tribe member. His body is really strong. Looking at Shirchio's body in front of him, Mo Qingyun smiled and couldn't help but praise. He sensed that Shirchio's body had reached the level of a sacred weapon. This showed how strong Shirchio's body was. Refined. A ball of fire of civilization surged out from Mo Qingyun's palm and enveloped Shirchio's body. Under the refining of the fire of civilization, some of the impurities in Shirchio's body were immediately refined. After that, Mo Qingyun took out some crafting materials and began to refine them. As time passed, the impurities in the refining materials were refined bit by bit. After the refining of the refining materials was completed, Mo Qingyun merged them with Shirchio's body and allowed them to become one. This process lasted for a few hours before the two were perfectly merged. Next, it's time to carve the formation. Seeing that the spiritual puppet's prototype was completed, Mo Qingyun didn't waste any time and immediately started to carve the formation on it. Mo Qingyun's hands moved quickly and formed mysterious sacred inscriptions. He then inserted them into the spiritual puppet's body. As the sacred inscriptions entered the spiritual puppet's body, the spiritual puppet's aura started to increase. After some time, the formation was finally completed and the spiritual puppet's aura started to increase again. Boom, boom, boom. The moment the formation was completed, the sky above the soul puppet began to change. Terrifying thunderclouds began to gather. Looking at the thunderclouds in the sky, Missouri Qingyun revealed a look of anticipation. He sighed inwardly, as expected a Nebula Realm soul puppet. The might of the tribulation, lightning it attracts, is indeed different. If I use this lightning to refine my body, my dragon origin tyrant body should be able to reach great success. Boom! Under Mo Qingyun's expectant gaze, a bolt of tribulation, lightning as thick as a bucket descended from the tribulation cloud. Seeing the tribulation lightning descend, Mo Qingyun performed a hand seal and immediately guided the tribulation lightning towards himself. When a tribulation lightning landed on Mo Qingyun's body, he activated the violent lightning dragon source tyrant body and borrowed the power of the tribulation lightning to refine his body. Under the tempering of the tribulation thunder, Mo Qingyun's physical body began to visibly strengthen. Sensing his fleshly body growing stronger, Mo Qingyun worked even harder in his cultivation, pushing away all the distracting thoughts in his mind. A few hours later, as the tribulation cloud dissipated, Mo Qingyun also stopped cultivating. The dragon origin tyrant body has finally reached great success. With my current physical strength, even a Nebula Realm Divine weapon would have a hard time injuring me. Sensing his physical strength, Mo Qingyun revealed a joyful smile. He couldn't help but daydream. With my current strength, if I meet Stone Placid again, I should be able to put up a fight. Mo Qingyun muttered to himself. He then sent the Stone Hill soul puppet beside him into the Fortune mainland and said, with the Stone Hill soul puppet's protection, the Fortune Immortal Palace should have no problem protecting itself on the Wasteland mainland. Since everything is settled, it's time to continue searching for the Green Thunder Spiritual Pearl. After doing all this, Mo Qingyun thought of the purpose of this trip and prepared to summon the green-haired child. Under Mo Qingyun's summon, the green-haired child appeared beside him and said excitedly, "Big brother, did you chase away those bad guys?" In response to the green-haired child's question, Mo Qingyun simply nodded and said, "What's your name? Why are you here by yourself?" "My name is Qing Lei." In response to Mo Qingyun's question, the green-haired child answered instinctively without the slightest bit of vigilance. He continued, "Since I was born, I've been here by myself. As for how long I've been here, I don't remember clearly anymore." Qing Lei, hearing the green-haired child's words, Mo Qingyun's expression changed greatly. The way he looked at Qing Lei changed greatly, and he secretly exclaimed, "Could it be that this green-haired child in front of me is the manifestation of the Green Thunder Spiritual Pearl?" Mo Qingyun felt that there was a high possibility that this was the case. That was because this was the only reasonable explanation for why Qing Lei was here. "Qing Lei, if I'm not wrong, your body should be a pearl, right?" After carefully sizing up Qing Lei, Mo Qingyun did not beat around the bush and directly asked him a question. Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Qing Lei's eyes immediately widened. He said in shock, "Big brother, you are so powerful. You can even see through me like this. My true form is a grand miss spiritual treasure, the Cyan Thunder spiritual bead." "So that's the case." Mo Qingyun's expression changed. He nodded in understanding and said, "Qing Lei, I'm going to leave this place. Let's say our goodbyes here." "Ah, you're leaving so soon?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Qing Lei revealed a reluctant expression. There was some worry on his little face as he muttered to himself, "If you leave, what if there are bad guys coming to capture me? Wouldn't I be in great danger?" Mo Qingyun was very satisfied with Qing Lei's reaction. He smiled faintly and said, "I still have things to take care of and cannot stay with you. Are you willing to leave with me?" "Okay." Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Qing Lei happily nodded his head and said, "Big brother, bring me away from here. Where are we going? I've been here for so long that I'm about to die from boredom. I'll bring you to the Wasteland continent. There are many good brothers and sisters there. They'll play with you." Mo Qingyun gave a simple answer to Qing Lei's question. It could be considered a promise to Qing Lei. At this moment, Mo Qingyun felt a sense of guilt when he said those words. No matter how one looked at it, His current behavior seemed like he was trying to coax an ignorant child. If that's the case, let's hurry and leave. After discussing with Qing Lei, Mo Qingyun did not want to waste any time and immediately flew out of the Green Thunder illusion realm. Under Qing Lei's guidance, Mo Qingyun easily left the illusion realm and returned to the Green Thunder Sacred Mountain. By the time Mo Qingyun returned to the Green Thunder Sacred Mountain, the others had already left. It's getting late. I'd better find a city to settle down first. Looking at the dark sky, Missouri Qingyun frowned and immediately flew down the Green Thunder Sacred Mountain. Since his strength had greatly improved, Mo Qingyun left the Green Thunder Sacred Mountain without any worries. It didn't take long for Mo Qingyun to leave the Cyan Thunder Mountain and head west. Chapter 23:18. For hours later, a huge city appeared in front of Mo Qingyun. The scale of this city was several times larger than the Fire Qilin city from before. Fire Mystical Salamander City. Mo Qingyun scanned the city briefly and walked straight into the city without stopping. Mo Qingyun entered the city and looked for a place to stay. He wanted to rest for the night before continuing his journey. Not long after entering the city, Mo Qingyun was surprised to see Shijin in the city. It seemed that the Fire Mystical Salamander City was now under the control of the Celestial Dragon Rock clan. Seeing Shijin in the distance, Mo Qingyun ignored him and continued to look for a place to stay. Although Mo Qingyun was not afraid of Shijin, it would still be troublesome to have a conflict with him. Moreover, there were many experts from the Celestial Dragon Rock clan around Shijin. The situation was not in Mo Qingyun's favor. When Mo Qingyun walked towards a small house, he attracted the attention of a group of people. Isn't that the young man who killed Shi and Shijin on the Green Lightning Mountain? It really is him. He's got guts to come to the Fire Mystical Salamander City. If Shijin and the others know that this kid killed Shi, they'll definitely cut him into pieces. After recognizing Mo Qingyun, these people immediately started gossiping, taking pleasure in other people's misfortune. Hearing the words of the people behind him, Lin Yi's eyes turned cold and he sneered. Father, that kid killed Shi and Shijin. He must be worried that the Celestial Dragon Rock clan will hunt him down. What if we use this to threaten him and force him to tell us his secret? Your idea is exactly the same as mine. Hearing Lin Yi's words, Lin Xinjai sneered and walked towards Mo Qingyun. Young friend Mo, we meet again. Soon, Lin Xinjai and the others caught up to Mo Qingyun and greeted Mo Qingyun. Hearing Lin Xinjai's greeting, Mo Qingyun stopped and turned to look at Lin Xinjai. You know me? That's right. Lin Xinjai nodded and replied to Mo Qingyun. That day on the Green Lightning Mountain, I had the honor of witnessing your glory. You left a deep impression on me. I see. Mo Qingyun nodded in understanding. He also recognized the other party. They were one of the several great powers. After recognizing these people, Mo Qingyun was not willing to speak too much with them. He asked, "Is there something you need from me?" "There is indeed an important matter that I would like to discuss with young master." Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Lin Xinjai smiled faintly. He pointed at a house to the side. "Sir, why don't we find a place to sit first and then talk?" "Okay." Mo Qingyun nodded and agreed to Lin Xinjai's request. He didn't think about Lin Xinjai's intentions. Seeing that Mo Qingyun agreed, Lin Yi smiled coldly, as if his evil plan had succeeded. Sensing Lin Yi's reaction, Mo Qingyun frowned and realized that something was wrong. But Mo Qingyun didn't think too much about it. He walked with Lin Xinjai and wanted to see what tricks they had up their sleeves. After a while, Mo Qingyun followed Lin Xinjai and the others into a spacious house. "Tell me, why are you looking for me?" After entering the residence with Lin Xinjai, Mo Qingyun found a place to sit down and asked directly. Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Lin Xinjai smiled proudly and said, "Young master, what we want to discuss with you is actually very simple. I'm sure you've seen that there are strong cultivators from the Big Dipper Dragon Rock clan in the city. If they find out that you killed Shiyun and his companion, What will happen? Mo Qingyun didn't say anything. He looked at Lin Xinjai indifferently, waiting to see what he wanted. Seeing that Mo Qingyun was silent, Lin Xinjai thought that Mo Qingyun was afraid. The smug look on his face deepened. Young Master Mo, I'm afraid you don't know that the Celestial Dragon Ra clan is very protective of their own. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that they seek revenge for the smallest grievance. If they find out that you killed Yi and his companion, they will definitely seek revenge against you. You guys, you call me here just to tell me this. Hearing Lin Xinjai beat around the bush, Mo Qingyun smiled disdainfully at him and said, If it's just to talk about this, I don't have time to accompany you. If you have something to say to me, just say it. Mr. Mo, you're really straightforward. I like your personality. Lin Xinjai praised. He didn't feel the slightest bit of displeasure or anger because of Mo Qingyun's attitude. He said, Our purpose is very simple. As long as you tell us some of your secrets, we'll keep the fact that you killed Yun and his companion secret. How about that? After hearing Lin Xinjai's words, Lin Yi smiled coldly and said, Mr. Mo, you must have some big secrets to be able to kill Yun and his companion as a nine-heaven Xian immortal, right? So that's why you call me here. Knowing the purpose of Lin Yi and the other man, Mo Qingyun showed a disdainful sneer as he shook his head and said, Gentlemen, if I say no, what will you do? You don't agree? After hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Lin Yi smiled coldly and said, If you don't agree, we'll have to apologize and tell the Celestial Dragon Ra clan that you killed Yun and his companion. Mr. Mo, don't let your emotions affect your decisions and ruin your future. After hearing Lin Yi's words, Lin Xinjai looked as if he expected better from Lin Yi. He said earnestly, Share your secret with us, and we'll keep it secret for you. This is a win-win situation. Why not? Haha, a win-win situation? I don't think so. Mo Qingyun smiled contemptuously, and his eyes flashed with mockery. He said, Besides, if I kill all of you, wouldn't that save me a lot of trouble? After hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Lin Xinjai and the others' hearts skipped a beat. Their expressions immediately became serious. Mo Qingyun even dared to kill Yi and Li Qie. There was no need to even mention killing them. Mr. Mo, we have so many people. Do you think you can kill them all? Forcefully suppressing the fear in her heart, Lin Xinjai pretended to be calm and threatened Mo Qingyun again. So what if I can't kill them all? So what if the Celestial Dragon Ra clan knows? I, Mo Qingyun, am not someone you can threaten. Mo Qingyun immediately laughed heartily at Lin Xinjai's words. He said proudly, Today, I'm going to make a move against all of you. I'd like to see how many of you can escape. Chapter 23:19. Under the pressure of Mo Qingyun's aura, Lin Xinjai and the others' expressions changed drastically. Their faces were filled with fear. Looking at Mo Qingyun's stance, it seemed that he was going to kill them, even if it meant exposing his identity. At this moment, Lin Xinjai and the others realized that they were wrong. Mo Qingyun was not someone who could be threatened by others. Mr. Mo, let's talk things out. Please don't get angry. Realizing that the situation was not right, Lin Xinjai immediately put on a pleading face and tried to appease Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun ignored Lin Xinjai's pleas. He raised his hand and slammed it towards him. Oomph. From the moment you threatened me, you were already sentenced to death. Mo Qingyun's palm slammed out. Immediately, a terrifying heat wave exploded and turned into a giant flaming palm. Seeing the giant flaming palm coming towards him, Lin Xinjai's face turned pale and he stood there trembling. Mo Qingyun's palm was too powerful. Even if he tried to block it with all his might, it would be useless. No, I don't want to die. Lin Xinjai screamed in panic. He used all his strength to block Mo Qingyun's palm. Under Lin Xinjai's attack, a figure flashing with golden light appeared outside his body. Bang, bang, bang. However, the golden shadow was crushed by the giant flaming palm as soon as it appeared outside Lin Xinjai's body. As a golden shadow was destroyed, The giant flaming palm slammed onto Lin Xinjai's body and drowned him. Father! Seeing Lin Xinjai drowned in the giant flaming palm, Lin Yi's eyes turned red. His face was filled with grief and indignation. While Lin Yi was filled with grief and indignation, he was worried that Mo Qingyun would attack him. Lin Yi screamed and did not want to stay any longer. He immediately fled into the fire mystical salamander city. Mo Qingyun's face turned cold when he saw Lin Yi trying to escape. He shouted, "Today, none of you will be able to escape. All of you will die here." After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he no longer hesitated and immediately chased after Lin Yi. "Young lord, run." Seeing that Mo Qingyun wanted to kill Lin Yi, some of the loyal elders immediately blocked Mo Qingyun for him. Mo Qingyun smiled disdainfully when he saw the crowd blocking his path. He said coldly, "You think too highly of yourselves if you think you can stop me with just a bunch of trash like you." Mo Qingyun's footsteps did not stop. He directly bumped into these people, ignoring them as if they were invisible. Seeing that Mo Qingyun did not dodge at all, these people's faces turned cold, and a smug look appeared on their faces. They said, "Humph, you're too arrogant. No matter how strong you are, if you want to take our attack head on, you'll only end up dead." Bang, bang, bang. While everyone was talking, all their attacks landed on Mo Qingyun. However, what made them dumbfounded was that Mo Qingyun took their attacks head on and was completely fine. Dying. After taking everyone's attacks head on, Mo Qingyun immediately threw out several punches, landing on everyone's bodies one after another. After being attacked by Mo Qingyun's overbearing attacks, these people's bodies exploded one after another. In a short moment, the several true saints who were blocking Mo Qingyun were all killed in an instant. Too strong. Seeing Mo Qingyun's combat strength, the remaining people were shocked, and despair appeared in their eyes. Only now did they truly know how terrifying Mo Qingyun's strength was and how foolish their actions were. It's only been a while since we last met. How is his strength so much stronger than when he was on the green lightning Sacred Mountain? Seeing the strength that Mo Qingyun displayed, Lin Yi was so frightened that his expression changed drastically. A chill ran down his spine. Mo Qingyun's current combat strength was not inferior to that of a Nebula Realm powerhouse. After killing everyone in his way, Mo Qingyun did not stop and continued to chase after Lin Yi and the others. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed a few times and caught up to Lin Yi and the others, decisively attacking them. Mr. Mo, please don't kill me. Let me go like a dog." Seeing that he could not escape, Lin Yi revealed a terrified expression and kowtowed to Mo Qingyun, begging for mercy. Mo Qingyun looked indifferent to Lin Yi's actions and said, "A dog that bites people is a scourge to keep. It's better for you to be buried with your father." After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he no longer hesitated and attacked Lin Yi. At this moment, when Mo Qingyun made his move, a powerful aura closed in. Seeing these people coming, Lin Yi's face immediately lit up as he recognized them. He said darkly, "Kid, the people from the Celestial Dragon Rock clan are here. Even if I die today, you won't be able to live either." That's right, these people were Shijin and the others from the Celestial Dragon Rock clan. "It's you again?" Shijin came in front of Mo Qingyun and recognized Mo Qingyun. He was surprised and said, "I didn't expect you to be able to survive after leaving the Fire Qilin city and being surrounded by demonic beasts." As soon as Shijin finished speaking, Lin Yi revealed a nervous expression and shouted at him, "Young Master Shijin, this kid killed Shiyun and Shi. He knew that we were going to report to you, so he killed us to silence us." "What? You've got guts to kill people from the Celestial Dragon Rock clan?" Hearing Lin Yi's report, Shijin was shocked and his face turned even uglier. He shouted, "Today, even if I have to chase you out of the city, I will tear you into pieces." "Kid, you didn't expect this to be the outcome, right?" Seeing Shijin's attitude, Lin Yi immediately laughed proudly as if he could see Mo Qingyun's dead body. Noisy. Hearing Lin Yi's proud words, Mo Qingyun's face turned cold. He raised his hand and slapped down. He shouted, "Before they do anything, I'll kill you first. Let's see if they can save you." Mo Qingyun's palm landed and blasted out a flaming palm shadow, crushing down towards Lin Yi. Facing the flaming palm shadow's attack, Lin Yi was so frightened that his face trembled. His eyes were filled with fear and despair. "Sure, young Master Shijin, save me." Being attacked by the flaming palm, Lin Yi immediately shouted for help. However, Shijin turned a deaf ear to him. Then, with fear and unwillingness, Lin Yi died under Mo Qingyun's palm. After killing Lin Yi, Mo Qingyun looked at Placid and began to confront them. While Mo Qingyun and Lin Yi were confronting each other, in a corner of the fire mystical salamander city, Qin 2 Mo saw Mo Qingyun in midair and said in surprise, "Little friend, Mo actually came to the fire mystical salamander city. I'm relieved to see that he's fine." However, Shijin and the others have their eyes on him again. Can he escape this time? Ko Xen, who was beside Qin 2 Mo, saw the scene in front of her, and a worried expression appeared on her face. Hearing Ko Xen's words, Qin 2 Mo's expression turned serious. He was worried for Mo Qingyun. Chapter 23:20. Oh, Senior 2 Mo and Ko Xen are also in the city. Mo Qingyun was startled when he sensed Qin 2 and Mo Mo's gazes, but he didn't communicate with them. He was worried that if he communicated with Qin 2 and Mo Xie, they would be exposed. With their cultivation, it would be a disaster for them to be hunted down by the Celestial Dragon Rock clan. You guys guard against the appearance of the totem spirit and help this kid escape the city. Remembering the situation last time, Placid instructed the people beside him, then sneered at Mo Qingyun. "Kid, this time, even if you summon the totem spirit, you won't be able to escape." After Placid finished speaking, he flew toward Mo Qingyun, taking the initiative to attack Mo Qingyun. "Who told you I'm going to summon the totem spirit?" Mo Qingyun was not afraid in the slightest as he watched the rapidly approaching Shijin. He retorted with an indifferent expression, "This time, I want to have a head-on battle with you. Do you dare?" Mo Qingyun said this to avoid being surrounded by the Celestial Dragon Rock clan. Although his strength had skyrocketed, and he could fight against Placid head-on, he was still not strong enough to fight against all of them. "Without the help of the totem spirit, you can't even take one of my attacks. And you want to fight me alone?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Placid's eyes turned cold, and a scornful smile appeared on his face. "Since you want to die, I'll kindly grant you your wish and let you die without regrets." Long galaxy break. Placid clenched his fists, and violent saint power gathered wildly, erupting with a terrifying aura. As the saint power gathered, a strange image of the Milky Way appeared in the sky above Stillwater. When the image appeared, it erupted with the power of the galaxy and poured into Placid's body. With the power of the galaxy, Placid's strength increased by more than a few notches. What a powerful divine ability. It seems that he was still holding back when he attacked last time. Seeing Shijin's performance, Mo Qingyun was shocked. The way he looked at Shijin changed. From this, it could be seen that the strength that Placid possessed was much stronger than Qiu. From the looks of it, among the Heavenly Dipper Dragon Rock Clan's juniors, Placid was the true prodigy. Although he was shocked by Shijin's strength, Mo Qingyun did not back down. He took the initiative to go up to Shijin and shouted, "Oomph. It's still too early to say whether or not I'll be able to withstand your attack." Rising Dragon Heavenly Blade. Mo Qingyun clenched his fist, and Tiger Soul appeared in his hand. Then he slashed down at Stone Placid. As Mo Qingyun brandished his saber, a terrifying flame energy rapidly gathered on the Tiger Soul. As the power of the flames gathered wildly, Mo Qingyun's body was surrounded by a sea of fire. Bang, bang, bang. The surrounding people who were close to Mo Qingyun were all ignited with balls of flames, burning their bodies. Facing this sudden change, Shijin and the rest were shocked. Each and every one of them stared with their eyes wide open. Holy glory, divine ability. You actually awakened the holy glory, divine ability. Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, Jin was shocked. His eyes revealed jealousy. Holy glory, divine ability was not only a powerful divine ability, it was also a symbol of talent. Among their Heavenly Dipper Dragon Rock Clan's juniors, only 3 people had awakened this divine ability. However, he was not one of them. From this point, it indirectly proved that his talent was far from Mo Qingyun's. A huge Dragon Shadow Saber Light blasted out from Tiger Soul. Facing the Dragon Shadow Saber Light's attack, Jin was not afraid at all. He took the initiative to swing his fist to meet it. Bang! Jin's fist collided with the Dragon Shadow Saber Light. Immediately, there was a huge explosion. Jin's forward body paused for a moment. However, Jin's consciousness recovered. There was some shock in his eyes as he said, "With your cultivation level, you actually cultivated a quasi-cosmic cloud state god art to such a level." When Placid said this, the jealousy in his eyes intensified as he looked at Mo Qingyun. Although he didn't want to admit it, he had to admit that Mo Qingyun's talent was indeed greater than his. "Kid, the greater your talent, the more I can't let you go." After seeing Mo Qingyun's talent, Jin's killing intense sword, he crazily attacked the Dragon Shadow Saber Light. A cold smile appeared on the corners of Mo Qingyun's mouth when he saw Jin's actions. He said, "Anyone can boast, but whether they can do it or not is another matter." Yin-yang dual pupils. As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, a cold glint flashed across his eyes as he shot out 2 beams of eye power with a threatening aura. 2 rays of eye force shot out and arrived in a flash. Catching Shuang off guard, the eye force smashed into his brain in a domineering manner. Struck by the eye force, Jin immediately screamed and spat out a trace of blood from the corner of his mouth. At the same time, Jin's attack paused for a moment. Bang! Since Stillwater's attack had stopped, the Dragon Shadow Blade Light had smashed into his body and sent him flying. Seeing Jin being sent flying by Mo Qingyun, everyone was shocked. They couldn't believe this was real. What? Jin's brother was injured by him? How did this kid become so strong? A few days ago in the Fire Qilin City, he couldn't even take 1 palm from Qiu. Did he hide his power? Impossible. If he had this power back then, he wouldn't need to summon the totem spirit. So, his power suddenly skyrocketed because he had a fortuitous encounter recently. Everyone, let's attack together. Don't let him escape. Capture him and ask for his secrets. The more the Big Dipper Dragon Rock clan thought about it, the more shocked they became. Their eyes were filled with desire. Following that, the Heavenly Star Dragonstone race's members stopped watching and started to attack Mo Qingyun. Seeing the Big Dipper Dragon Rock clan's actions, Mo Qingyun's expression froze. His expression was tense to the extreme. None of these people were weaker than Qiu. One of them was even comparable to Jin. If he were to be surrounded by them, even with his current strength, he would suffer quite a bit of loss. Retreat first. After analyzing the situation, Mo Qingyun didn't want to stay any longer. He immediately fled out of the fire, mystical Salamander City. Before Mo Qingyun left, he didn't forget to remind Qin Tu and Mo Tuesday, Senior Mo Tu, "I've killed many Big Dipper Dragon Rocklands juniors. In order to not be implicated, you should leave the path of the stars as soon as possible." After Mo Qingyun's transmission, he fled out of the fire, mystical Salamander City, shaking off the Big Dipper Dragon Rock clan. Seeing Mo Qingyun flee out of the city, the Big Dipper Dragon Rock clan members who were chasing Mo Qingyun hesitated. Chapter 23-21. While the Big Dipper Dragon Rock clan members were hesitating, Jin came to their side and chased out of the city. Seeing Jin's actions, everyone was shocked. They were frightened by Jin's actions. Placid was truly enraged this time. He wanted to fight Mo Qingyun to the bitter end and fight to the bitter end. Chase him. Even if we have to chase him to the ends of the earth, we have to kill him. Noticing the behavior of the people behind him, Xian immediately ordered them to continue chasing after Mo Qingyun. That brat's growth is too fast. We can't let him continue to grow. We must eliminate him today. Hearing Shi Jin's words, the Big Dipper Dragon Rock clan members no longer hesitated and chased after Mo Qingyun. When they thought about the strength that Mo Qingyun had displayed, they all felt a strong pressure in their hearts. When Mo Qingyun first fought with them, he was only a quasi-nebula realm cultivator. Now his strength was comparable to a mid-nebula realm cultivator. It had only been half a month. This speed of improvement was too terrifying. If Mo Qingyun was allowed to continue growing, no one in the Big Dipper Dragon Rock clan would be able to suppress him in 8 to 10 years. If such a person was left alive, there would be too many hidden dangers. Brother 2Mo, are we really leaving? Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Ko-Exine hesitated and said reluctantly, "We just found the Yunhan Valley secret realm and haven't explored it yet. Wouldn't it be a pity to leave now? Although the Yunhan Valley secret realm is important, it's too dangerous for us to explore it with our strength." Hearing Ko-Exine's words, Qin 2Mo immediately shook his head and said with a serious expression, "Young friend Mo, you want us to leave immediately for our own good. We shouldn't stay any longer." After listening to Qin 2Mo's explanation, Ko-Exine nodded her head reluctantly despite her reluctance. She knew very well that with their strength, if they were angered by the Big Dipper Dragon Rock clan, they would definitely die. Qin 2Mo and Qin 2Mo talked for a while and decided to leave at dawn the next day, outside the mysterious Salamander City. After Mo Qingyun escaped from the city, he flew towards the west, trying his best to shake off Shi Jin and the others. However, Mo Qingyun didn't fly for long before he saw a black mass of figures approaching him at an extremely fast speed. The beast tide is here. Seeing the rapidly approaching shadows, Mo Qingyun's expression turned grave. He was thinking about how to deal with this situation. Mo Qingyun pondered for a moment before coming to a decision. Anticipation rose in his heart as he said, "I hope that I can avoid being discovered by the demonic beasts when I enter the Fortune mainland." Mo Qingyun muttered under his breath. With a flicker, he disappeared into the Fortune mainland. When Mo Qingyun had entered the Fortune mainland, he had broken away from Stillwater's detection, shocking everyone present. Gone. Discovering that Mo Qingyun's figure and aura had completely disappeared, Still and the others widened their eyes, their expressions filled with shock. This situation was too unexpected for them. They had not expected this at all. However, before they could recover from the shock in their hearts, their expressions turned heavy. Millions of powerful demonic beasts were closing in on them. Seeing this scene, Still's face immediately darkened. He gritted his teeth in anger and said, "What a despicable brat, purposely leading us out of the city to use the demonic beasts to deal with us. Retreat." Looking at the rapidly approaching demonic beasts, Still did not hesitate and immediately ordered everyone to retreat. Unfortunately, before they could turn around to escape, the demonic beasts had already surrounded them. Surrounding Still and the others, the demonic beasts seemed to have gone mad, attacking them madly. "Brother Still, these demonic beasts are too strong. We won't be able to break out in a short time. There are too many of them. It's unrealistic to want to kill all of them. We're screwed this time. We've been tricked by that brat." Facing the frenzied attacks of the demonic beasts, the Heavenly Star Dragon Stone clan's members were enraged. Hearing everyone's words, Still's face darkened even more. He said solemnly, "Everyone, don't panic. Although these demonic beasts are strong, they're not a threat to us. Let's deal with them carefully and slowly move closer to the mysterious Salamander City." Yes. Hearing Still's words, the Heavenly Star Dragonstone clan's members immediately shouted and retreated while killing the demonic beasts. While Placid and the others were fleeing, Mo Qingyun, who was on the Fortune mainland, had a bold idea. Still and the others should be surrounded by the demonic beasts, facing the frenzied attacks of the demonic beasts. Analyzing Still and the other situation, Emo Qingyun's face revealed a sinister smile. He began to weigh the pros and cons in his mind. With my physical strength, as long as I'm careful, even if I'm attacked by the demonic beasts, there shouldn't be much of a problem. Maybe I can use this opportunity to kill Still and the others. The moment this idea appeared in his mind, it grew stronger and stronger. Emo Qingyun couldn't help but want to give it a try. Soon, after weighing the pros and cons, Emo Qingyun decided to give it a try. In a flicker, Emo Qingyun's figure returned to the path of the Milky Way and saw Still and the others not far away. When Emo Qingyun saw Still and the others, the demonic beasts also noticed his appearance and attacked him. Dragon Origin Tyrant Body. Seeing the demonic beasts attacking him, Emo Qingyun immediately circulated his Dragon Origin Tyrant Body to defend against the attacks of the nearby demonic beasts. As Emo Qingyun activated his Dragon Origin Tyrant Body, Luo Yunyang hurriedly attacked the attacking demonic beasts. After blocking the first wave of attacks from the demonic beasts, Emo Qingyun gained some confidence in his heart. The strength of these demonic beast attacks was still within his tolerance range. As long as he was careful, he should be fine. Brother Still, that kid came out. From the looks of it, he must have used some sort of secret technique to temporarily conceal his aura. Although this secret technique is powerful, it only lasts for a short period of time. It can only fool the enemy once. Let's see where he can hide the next time we chase after him. When they saw Emo Qingyun appear, the people of the Big Dipper Dragon Rock tribe immediately started discussing among themselves. While they were conversing, they revealed looks of surprise. Emo Qingyun was actually approaching them. What is this kid trying to do? Still was shocked when he saw Emo Qingyun's actions. He couldn't understand Emo Qingyun's actions. Logically speaking, Emo Qingyun should have been in a hurry to escape when he saw them. But now, Emo Qingyun was moving in the opposite direction. He was constantly approaching them. This was a little too strange. That kid's actions are a little strange. Everyone, be careful. Chapter 23-22. Under the watchful eyes of Jin and the rest, Emo Qingyun came before them and glanced at their situation. Knowing the situation of Jin and the rest, Emo Qingyun immediately approached one of them and prepared to attack him first. Seeing Emo Qingyun's action, Jin was shocked and quickly reminded the person, "Be careful, Jin. That kid is going to attack you." Hearing Jin's words, Jin's expression immediately changed and a look of panic appeared on his face. It was already very difficult for him to deal with the demon beasts around him, and he could not divert his attention to guard against Emo Qingyun. Just as Jin was panicking, Emo Qingyun blasted out a palm at him and blasted out an imposing palm shadow. Looking at the palm shadow that was getting closer and closer, the panic on Jin's face immediately became more intense. Just from the aura of this palm, he knew that he could not withstand it. Although he knew that he could not withstand it, Jin did not wait for death and still made a move to defend. Snow Mantis Ice God Slash. A Xian Ice sword appeared in Jin's hand and slashed out a cold blade light, blasting towards the approaching palm shadow. Bang! The sword light slashed on the palm shadow and immediately made a loud noise, creating a terrifying Saint Power Storm. When this Saint Power Storm appeared, it affected Jin and sent him flying. Roar! When Jin was sent flying, some demon beasts pounced on him and tore at him crazily. Faced with the demon beasts' crazy biting, Jin was immediately seriously injured and lost the ability to fight. After a while, Jin's lower body collapsed under the demon beast's attack with a strong sense of unwillingness. Jin. Seeing Jin's miserable state, Jin's expression was filled with grief and indignation. He glared at Emo Qingyun with bloodshot eyes and roared, "Kid, you dare to kill the people of my celestial dragon rock clan again and again, I will tear you into pieces. Don't be agitated, you will go down to accompany him soon." Mo Qingyun did not care about Shi Xian's anger at all, as he replied unhurriedly. After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he thought for a while and said, I forgot to tell you that not only Shi Yi and Shi Jin were killed by me, but Shi Qiu and the rest were also killed by me. Of course, you will be included now. What? He killed Shi Qiu and the rest. This kid wants to become enemies with the Celestial Dragon Rock clan? This kid is a lunatic who does not care about his life. Let's fight him and let him know the consequences of going against the Celestial Dragon Rock clan. At that moment, the people of the Celestial Dragon clan were all furious. Seeing everyone's reaction, Shi Placid frowned and thought to himself, this brat is full of tricks. We can't take his words seriously. Maybe he's trying to anger everyone. He knew the strength of Shi Qiu and the rest. Even if they were no match for Mo Qingyun, there was still hope for them to escape with their lives. However, Shi Jin did not know that Shi Qiu and the rest were trapped in the green lightning illusory realm and did not know how to escape. Everyone, stay calm. Although this kid is not weak, he may not be able to kill Shi Qiu and the rest. Thinking about it, Shi Placid began to remind everyone to calm them down. He then said, I feel that his words are to anger us and make us lose our minds. After hearing Shi Jin's words, everyone's expression turned better and they started to doubt Mo Qingyun's words. If that's the case, I will prove to you that I did not kill Shi Qiu and the rest. After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he no longer hid and summoned the Shi Qiu spiritual puppet. Seeing the Shi Qiu spiritual puppet, Shi Jin and the rest's expression darkened. Not only did Mo Qingyun kill Shi Qiu, but he also refined him into a spiritual puppet. This was a little too much. This kid is too much. I will fight him to the death. How dare he treat the people of my clan like this? This is intolerable. Today either I die or he dies. Fight him to the death. The people of the Big Dipper Dragon Rock clan were enraged. While everyone was raging, Shi Jin's expression darkened. He gritted his teeth and said, Kid, how dare you treat Shi Qiu like this? Wait for the endless pursuit of my clan. After Shi Jin finished speaking, he formed a hand seal and spat out a mouthful of blood essence on it. Following that, the strange mark began to emit an ancient aura. Whoosh! After the strange seal was completed, it disappeared in a flash and instantly entered Mo Qingyun's body. After Shi Jin used this secret technique, his aura immediately weakened. It seemed like he paid a huge price for it. Brother Shi Jin, why did you use the boulder curse? By using this curse, you will have no hope of breaking through in your lifetime. This is too great a price to pay. Not only that, from now on, you will enter a petrified state half of the time every year. Seeing Shi Jin's actions, the people of the Celestial Dragon Rock clan were shocked. Under everyone's nervous gaze, Shi Jin shook his head and smiled faintly. With my talent as the price, I will let this kid suffer the torture of the curse. This price is worth it. After being affected by Shi Jin's boulder curse, Mo Qingyun immediately realized that his blood was turning into stone bit by bit. At the same time, the flow of his blood essence and the circulation of his saint power were greatly affected. What a powerful curse! Sensing the change in his blood, Mo Qingyun was immediately shocked. His expression changed slightly as he looked at Shi Jin. He did not expect Shi Jin to have such a trick up his sleeve. He had miscalculated this time. I have to end this quickly. After realizing the situation in his body, Mo Qingyun's expression darkened. He did not want to waste any more time. As soon as this thought appeared in his mind, Mo Qingyun rushed towards one of them and slapped him with his palm. Facing Mo Qingyun's attack, the person immediately defended himself. He did not dare to delay at all. Bang! 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 While he defended against Mo Qingyun's attack, he was on guard against the monsters around him. Immediately, it weakened. As his defense against the monsters weakened, the attacks from the monsters around him immediately fell on him. Then, he was attacked by the monsters. He followed in Shi Jin's footsteps. Seeing this person's fate, Shi Placid revealed a furious expression. His hatred for Mo Qingyun intensified. "Kid, you forced me to do this," Stillwater coldly shouted. He quickly formed an ancient hand seal with his hands. Once the handprint was formed, it began to extract Shi Jin's essence, spirit, and saint power. It slowly condensed into a human figure. Seeing this, the people of the Celestial Dragon Rock clan could not bear to see this. Under everyone's shocked gaze, Shi Jin turned into an old man in the blink of an eye. His aura was extremely weak. In front of Shi Jin, a figure with a terrifying aura appeared. Chapter 23:23 Blood Origin Sacrifice. Brother Stillwater is actually using such a forbidden technique. Brother Stillwater is doing this to protect us. He also wants to get rid of a threat to the clan. Everyone, hurry up and protect Brother Stillwater. Even if we die, we can't let him get hurt. Humph! Brother Stillwater has summoned the primogenitor's spirit body. This kid will definitely die. When everyone saw Stillwater's actions, they immediately came to his side and protected him in the middle. While everyone was protecting Stillwater, the primogenitor's spirit body, summoned by Stillwater, blasted a finger at Mo Qingyun. Sky-piercing rock dragon. When the primogenitor's spirit body blasted out, it emitted a terrifying aura that locked onto Mo Qingyun. What a powerful mystic ability. Mo Qingyun's expression changed drastically as he was enveloped by this aura. In terms of aura alone, the strength of the primogenitor's spirit body was comparable to a late-stage galaxy-grade martialist. Fire of civilization, demonic star-splitting palm. Mo Qingyun didn't dare be careless in the face of the primogenitor's spirit body's attack. He immediately waved his palm to meet it. A flaming palm shadow blasted out from Mo Qingyun's hand and met the finger light blasted out by the primogenitor's spirit body. Boom! The palm shadow blocked the attack of the finger radiance and produced a loud noise, creating a terrifying wave of saint force. However, it didn't take long for the palm shadow to be pierced by the finger light's overbearing impact. After the finger light pierced through the palm shadow, it blasted onto Mo Qingyun's shoulder and pierced through Mo Qingyun's shoulder. When Mo Qingyun's left shoulder was pierced, a terrifying force acted on his body. Under the impact of this force, Mo Qingyun was sent flying and collided with a large group of demonic beasts. How powerful! After this exchange with the primogenitor's spirit body, Mo Qingyun had a clear understanding of its strength. Given his current strength, it was impossible for him to deal with the primogenitor's spirit body. The circulation of my vital energy and spiritual power is getting slower and slower. I can't continue fighting. After sensing the situation in his body, Mo Qingyun made a decision to leave this place first. Mo Qingyun didn't delay any longer. He immediately turned around and fled into the distance. Upon seeing Mo Qingyun escape, although Shi and the others were very unwilling, they didn't give chase. They were very clear that with their strength, they were unable to make Mo Qingyun stay. If they continued to pursue, they would die from exhaustion under the attacks of the demonic beasts. Luo Yunyang had the primogenitor's spirit body's power, had the primogenitor Luo's body. Dragon Source Tyrant body. After getting rid of Shi Jin and the others, Mo Qingyun activated his saint physique and broke through the encirclement of the demonic beasts. After Luo, when he reached the edge of the Mo Qingyun's body flashed, and he disappeared. That was really close. If there had been two primogenitor spirit bodies, I'm afraid we wouldn't have been able to escape. Mo Qingyun couldn't help but shudder as he recalled the strength of the primogenitor spirit body. Given his current strength, he could take on a mid-stage galaxy-grade martialist. However, he wouldn't be a match for a late-stage galaxy-grade martialist. The power of the Boulder Curse is getting stronger and stronger. I have to think of a way to get rid of it. Mo Qingyun felt a headache coming on as he sensed the vital energy and sacred power in his body getting petrified. If a junior from the Sky Dragon Stone tribe is already so difficult to deal with, the elders of the Sky Dragon Stone tribe will be even more difficult to deal with. As Mo Qingyun thought about it, he realized that the situation was dire and a strong sense of oppression arose. If the desolate mainland couldn't be hidden and appeared in the Dragonstone galaxy, he would be in a very bad situation. After Mo Qingyun thought about it, a sense of urgency rose in his heart as he thought to himself, the Sky Dragonstone tribe is too strong. I have to break through to the galaxy grade before they find the desolate mainland. With this thought in mind, Mo Qingyun started to cultivate. He had to recover from his injuries first. As Mo Qingyun immersed himself in cultivation, the injuries on his body began to heal little by little. After several hours, Mo Qingyun stopped cultivating. His injuries had completely healed. Fortunately, my physical body is strong and I have the absolute beginning fortune bloodline's recovery ability. Otherwise, it would be difficult to recover from my injuries. After stopping cultivating, Mo Qingyun revealed a bright smile as he rejoiced in his heart. Seeing that his injuries had healed, Mo Qingyun didn't want to delay any longer and left the Fortune mainland. When Mo Qingyun returned to the Milky Way path, the sky was already bright and the violent beast tide had retreated. Seeing that the beast tide had retreated, Mo Qingyun immediately rushed to the west to find other secret realms to explore. After what happened, Sure Jean and the others will definitely hunt me down. I have to raise my cultivation as soon as possible. While Mo Qingyun was rushing, he was surprised to meet people from the Qinyo Temple. Hey, looking at their posture, it seems like they're going to explore some secret realm. Seeing the behavior of the Golden Eye Human Emperor and the others, Mo Qingyun was curious and quietly followed behind them. Several hours later, with Mo Qingyun following him in secret, Qinlai arrived at a valley covered in frost. Just as he had guessed, this was indeed a secret realm. This Cold Cloud Valley secret realm is said to be the residence of a galaxy-grade expert. There are many cold cloud sacred lotuses planted here. Looking at the valley covered in frost, Dao Lord Lihua was excited and his heart was filled with strong anticipation. Hearing Dao Lord Lihua's words, the Golden Eye Human Emperor smiled and said with anticipation, the Cold Cloud Sacred Lotus can not only cure hundreds of poisons, but also purify the evil curse on the body. Most importantly, if we obtain the Cold Cloud Sacred Lotus and refine it, we have a chance of breaking through to the galaxy grade. Cold Cloud Sacred Lotus? Hearing the conversation between the Golden Eye Human Emperor and Dao Lord Lihua, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and couldn't help but think, I wonder if refining the Cold Cloud Sacred Lotus can end the boulder curse. If it can be lifted, then this trip will be worth it. With this thought, Mo Qingyun's anticipation for the Cold Cloud Sacred Lotus became even stronger. Next, Mo Qingyun continued to follow the group and entered Cold Cloud Valley. As he entered Cold Cloud Valley, a bone-chilling coldness drilled into Mo Qingyun's body. Under the erosion of this coldness, Mo Qingyun felt that his bloodline and saint power were about to freeze. What a terrifying coldness. Seeing this situation, Mo Qingyun was shocked and hurriedly activated the fire of civilization to resist. While Mo Qingyun was resisting the coldness, the Golden Eye Human Emperor and the others were in a much worse situation than him. However, under the temptation of a huge treasure, no one gave up searching. Chapter 23-24. After walking for a while, they came to a courtyard and saw a large lake. In the lake, there were lotus flowers that looked like ice sculptures, emitting strong saint power fluctuations. This is the Cold Cloud Sacred Lotus. I didn't expect the Cold Cloud Sacred Lotus to exist in the Cold Cloud Valley. Looking at the lotuses that looked like ice sculptures, the Golden Eye Renhuang was overjoyed and looked excited. Then, the golden-eye human emperor and the others could not wait to approach the lake. When they came to the side of the lake, they were eager to pick the lotus flowers in the lake. Bang! Bang! When they were flying toward the lake, golden figures jumped out of the lake. These golden figures jumped out of the lake and turned into golden dragons, attacking the people of Chunyo Temple. Boom! 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 Under the attack of the golden figures, the people of Chunyo Temple were caught off guard and were sent flying out of the lake. Then they fell to the ground, spitting out blood and looking pale. Dragon's Pine Golden Carp. Seeing the golden figure in the middle of the lake, the golden-eye human emperor was shocked. His eyes flashed with surprise. The Dragon's Pine Golden Carp contains the bloodline of the golden dragon. If I can refine it, it will be of great help to my cultivation of the golden eye. This is an unexpected gain. The golden-eye human emperor was eager to refine the Dragon's Pine Golden Carp as soon as he thought about it. Then, the golden-eye human emperor moved and flew toward the lake. When the golden-eye human emperor got close to the lake, he threw out a palm strike and hit a Dragon's Pine Golden Carp. Under the golden-eye human emperor's palm strike, the Dragon's Pine Golden Carp was sent flying out of the lake, and its aura was weakened. Seeing that the Dragon's Pine Golden Carp was sent flying out of the lake, the experts of Chunyo Temple immediately attacked it. Then, the Dragon's Pine Golden Carp that was sent flying out of the lake was killed by the people of Chunyo Temple. It seems that the golden-eye human emperor's cultivation is very close to the galaxy realm. Seeing the golden-eye human emperor's performance, Mo Qingyun showed a look of understanding. Then, a playful look appeared in his eyes, and he said, "However, with such strength, it is no longer a threat to me." Mo Qingyun muttered to himself. He no longer concealed himself as he flew towards the center of the lake, preparing to pluck the frost cloud sacred lotus. Mo Qingyun's appearance immediately attracted everyone's attention. Everyone turned to look at him. It's him. That brat actually came here too. Quick, stop Mo Qingyun. Don't let him pick the frost cloud sacred lotus. The chilling cloud sacred lotus is not that easy to pluck. This brat is simply courting death by rushing into the lake. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, the people of Chunyo Holy Hall showed a different attitude. When everyone saw Mo Qingyun, the golden-eye human emperor also noticed Mo Qingyun. With a cold expression on his face, he shouted, "Boy, last time the secret realm of the Falling Fire Tribe. You got there first. This time, let's settle the score." The golden-eye human emperor had always been brooding over the incident in the secret realm of the Falling Fire Tribe. The thought of it infuriated him. As the golden-eye human emperor spoke, Dao Lordly Hua flew over with a smug smile. "Boy, we were just worried that we couldn't find you. To think that you would take the initiative to deliver yourself to us. This saves us a lot of trouble." Seeing the golden-eye human emperor and Dao Lord Li Hua's actions, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and shook his head. "If I were you, I would take my men and leave immediately instead of waiting for death. Judging from your tone, it seems that you still want to fight with us?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Dao Lord Li Hua's face was filled with disdain as he looked at Mo Qingyun provocatively. Clearly, he did not think that Mo Qingyun had the strength to fight with them. After all, in the previous two encounters, Mo Qingyun had fled in defeat. More importantly, they had a fortuitous encounter recently, and their strength had improved greatly. As such, if Mo Qingyun were to fight with them, he would be even less of a match. Hearing Dao Lord Li Hua's words, the golden-eye human emperor revealed a proud expression and said, "Mo Qingyun, don't say that I didn't warn you. You're not the only one who had a fortuitous encounter. Recently, our strength has improved tremendously as well. I hope that you won't be frightened later." Sigh, once a person seeks death, there's really no stopping them. Seeing the golden-eye human emperor and Dao Lord Li Hua's behavior, Mo Qingyun shook his head and sighed. "Since you guys are bent on dying, I can only fulfill your wishes. I only hope that you guys won't be frightened to death when I display my strength." Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Dao Lord Li Hua was immediately displeased and said coldly, "Umph, what shameless boasting. I like to see how much progress you made recently." After saying that, Dao Lord Li Hua charged towards Mo Qingyun and took the initiative to attack Mo Qingyun. Seeing Dao Lord Li Hua's attack, Mo Qingyun did not wait for death and waved casually in front of him. Then, a figure with an imposing aura appeared in front of him. Nebula realm. Sensing the aura of that figure, Dao Lord Li Hua and Dao Lord Li Hua shuddered and stopped in their tracks. During this period of time, although the two of them had improved greatly, they were still not a match for a Nebula Realm expert. At that moment, they finally understood what Mo Qingyun was relying on. Sure, Chiao. When the Golden Eye Human Emperor saw the appearance of the soul puppet, the shock in their hearts intensified. Mo Qingyun had refined Shi Qiu into a soul puppet. Didn't that mean that he could kill a Nebula Realm expert? If that was the case, how are they going to fight against Mo Qingyun? No, this can't be true. His strength can't have improved so quickly. Dao Lord Li Hua revealed a pained expression at the sight of Mo Qingyun's methods, unable to accept this outcome. This huge psychological gap was too difficult for him to accept. Kill them. Mo Qingyun did not care about Dao Lord Li Hua's performance and ordered the Stone Hill soul puppet directly. Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's order, the Stone Hill soul puppet's figure flashed and charged towards the people of Sacred Hall of Qianyu Temple. Against the attack of the Stone Hill soul puppet, the people of Sacred Hall of Qianyu Temple were slaughtered like chickens and dogs. At the sight of this, the Golden Eye Human Emperor's eyes turned red, and he roared with a sorrowful expression. I hate myself for not listening to Zi Yunqiao's suggestion back then to destroy the immortal palace of creation and give you a chance to grow. At that moment, the Golden Eye Human Emperor finally understood why Zi Yunqiao cared so much about Mo Qingyun. Given the speed of Mo Qingyun's growth, if they could not get rid of him, they would not be able to sleep and eat in peace. Chapter 23-25. Looks like you guys are scared out of your wits. Seeing the reaction of Jin Tong, Human Emperor, and the others, Mo Qingyun's lips curled up slightly as he teased them. Mo Qingyun ignored the people of Sacred Hall Qianyu and let the Stone Hill spiritual puppet deal with them. With the Stone Hill spiritual puppet's strength, it was easy for it to deal with the Golden Eye Human Emperor and the rest. Then, Mo Qingyun flew to the lake and started plucking the cold cloud sacred lotus. Roar! Mo Qingyun came to the center of the lake, and the dragon's pine golden carps jumped out of the lake and attacked him. Holy Glory's superpower, Ignite. Seeing the dragon pine golden carps attacking him, Mo Qingyun immediately used his superpower to attack the dragon's pine golden carps that were close to him. Bang! 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 Under Mo Qingyun's attack, the dragon's pine golden carps that were close to him burst into flames. Under the burning of the fire of civilization, the dragon's pine golden carps were severely injured and fled back into the lake. What a powerful superpower! Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, the Golden Eye Human Emperor was shocked, and his fear of Mo Qingyun grew. Although he could kill the dragon's pine golden carps, it was impossible for him to defeat a group of them so easily. From this, it could be seen that the difference in strength between him and Mo Qingyun had become very obvious. Run! After knowing Mo Qingyun's strength, the Golden Eye Human Emperor did not dare to take any chances and immediately fled out of Yunhan Valley. He knew that with Mo Qingyun here, the treasures in the secret zone would not be his. If he did not escape now, he would not have the chance to escape when Mo Qingyun was free. However, the Golden Eye Human Emperor was too naive. Under the attack of the Stone Hill spiritual puppet, he had no chance to escape. Without waiting for the Golden Eye Human Emperor to escape, the Stone Hill spiritual puppet blocked him and attacked him with a palm. In the face of the Stone Hill spiritual puppet's attack, the Golden Eye Human Emperor had no ability to resist at all. He was immediately sent flying by the palm strike. While the Stone Hill spirit puppet was dealing with the crowd, Mo Qingyun plucked the first frost cloud sacred lotus and examined it carefully. After examining the sacred cloud lotus for a while, Mo Qingyun directly consumed it. With an expectant expression, he said, I hope the sacred cloud, lotus, won't disappoint me and can cure the monolith curse in my body. When Mo Qingyun consumed the frost cloud, sacred lotus, it was like an ice cube. It quickly melted into water and fused with Mo Qingyun's blood. The frost cloud, sacred lotus, melted into Mo Qingyun's blood, and the power of the monolith curse immediately weakened. Effective. Mo Qingyun rejoiced when he discovered the situation in his body. He became excited and said, based on the current situation, as long as I consume a few more chill cloud Saint Lotuses, the boulder's curse won't be able to affect me even if I can't remove it. With this thought in mind, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated and immediately plucked the frost cloud sacred lotus. After plucking a few more frost cloud sacred lotuses, Mo Qingyun's heart moved and a bold idea came to his mind. This lake can be used to grow frost cloud sacred lotuses and breed dragon spine golden carps. If I move it to the Fortune mainland, won't I be able to continue growing frost cloud sacred lotuses and dragon spine golden carps? With this thought in mind, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated and immediately moved the lake. Boom, boom, boom. As Mo Qingyun moved the lake, the entire Cold Cloud Valley shook as if there was an earthquake. This situation immediately attracted the attention of the Golden Eye Human Emperor and the others. They turned their heads and looked over. When they saw Mo Qingyun's actions, all of them were dumbfounded. This brat is really crazy. He actually wants to move the entire lake and destroy the entire Cold Cloud Valley. Didn't you see that he even dared to refine the Heavenly Star Dragonstone race's genius into a puppet? It's really unlucky to provoke such a lunatic. Oof. The Heavenly Star Dragonstone race will definitely not let him off the hook for treating them like this. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, the Cheonyo Holy Hall's members were shocked and angry. After saying those shocking words, they didn't dare to be distracted and focused on defending against the Stone Hill spiritual puppets' attacks. While they were defending against the Stone Hill spiritual puppets' attacks, Mo Qingyun moved the lake and turned to look at the Golden Eye Human Emperor and the others. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed and appeared in front of the Golden Eye Human Emperor and the others. He looked at them coldly and said, "You were right. It's time to settle the score between us." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, the Golden Eye Human Emperor's face trembled, and he said dejectedly, "Mo Qingyun, we don't have much enmity between us. Why do you have to be so ruthless? This old man apologizes to you for what happened in the past. From now on, we'll write off our grudge. How about it? Apologize?" Hearing the Golden Eye Human Emperor's words, Mo Qingyun smiled contemptuously and said, "Golden Eye Human Emperor, you're an expert who's been in charge of a region for a long time. Do you think there's any point in saying this now?" Facing Mo Qingyun's question, the Golden Eye Human Emperor showed a determined expression and said, "This old man has been cultivating this pair of golden eyes all my life. Today, I'll use this pair of eyes to express my sincerity in apologizing to you." As soon as the Golden Eye Human Emperor finished speaking, he decisively dug out his eyes and blinded them. Seeing the Golden Eye Human Emperor's actions, Mo Qingyun showed some admiration and said indifferently, "Golden Eye Human Emperor, your actions are admirable. However, you're too naive to think that you can write off our grudge with just a pair of eyes." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, the Golden Eye Human Emperor immediately trembled and said helplessly, "Mo Qingyun, this old man has already admitted defeat and paid a painful price. With your terrifying cultivation talent, we definitely won't be able to threaten you in the future. Why do you have to kill us all? You can't threaten me, but you can threaten the immortal Palace of Fortune. Therefore, you can't be left alive." As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he didn't say any more nonsense and directly attacked the Golden Eye Human Emperor and the others. Under Mo Qingyun's attack, several elders of Saint Palace of Cheonyo Palace were immediately killed by him. Seeing Mo Qingyun's ruthless actions, the Golden Eye Human Emperor smiled bitterly and said, "Mo Qingyun, you're ruthless. This old man has been defeated by you. I don't blame you for losing. After the golden-eye human emperor finished speaking, he took the initiative to charge at Mo Qingyun and shouted, "This old man has dominated the prison wasteland domain for thousands of years. How can I be killed by a junior? You'll be buried with me." As the golden-eye human emperor spoke, he detonated his physical body as if he wanted to perish together with Mo Qingyun. Seeing the golden-eye human emperor's actions, Mo Qingyun smiled contemptuously and said sarcastically, "Golden-eye human emperor, you think too highly of yourself if you want to drag me down with you." After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he struck out with his palm and suppressed the storm of force produced by the golden-eye human emperor's self-detonation. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, Dao Lordly Fire and the others looked bitter and desperate. Chapter 23-26. After blocking the storm caused by the explosion of the golden-eye human emperor, Mo Qingyun looked at Dao, Lordly Fire, and the others, ready to kill them all. Under Mo Qingyun's gaze, the expressions of Dao, Lordly Fire, and the others changed drastically, revealing a look of fear in their eyes. Mo Qingyun, as long as you let us go, we will listen to you from now on. How about that? Although he was very unwilling, the current situation made Dao, Lordly Fire, lower his stance and said, "Although you are strong, the immortal palace of creation has a weak foundation. It won't be easy to dominate the wasteland prison. If you can gain the respect of the Chunyo Temple, this problem won't exist." Mo Qingyun revealed a hesitant expression when he heard Dao Lordly Fire's suggestion. After pondering for a moment, he said, "Although your suggestion is good, you guys are still unable to catch my attention given your current strength. Prepare to die obediently." After fighting with the people of the heavenly constellation Dragon Rock race, Mo Qingyun's view of the world was completely different from before. After he returned, even if he wanted to dominate the wasteland continent, it wouldn't be a problem. After rejecting Dao Lordly Fire's suggestion, Mo Qingyun and the Stone Hill spiritual puppet attacked Dao Lordly Fire and the others. In the face of Mo Qingyun and the Stone Hill spiritual puppet, Dao Lordly Fire and the others were slaughtered without any ability to resist. After a while, Mo Qingyun and the Stone Hill spiritual puppet killed Dao Lordly Fire and the others unwillingly. After killing Dao Lordly Fire and the others, Mo Qingyun kept their corpses in the Fortune mainland. Although Dao Lordly Fire and the others were only at the true sage level, they had the advantage in numbers. Refining them into spiritual puppets to attract the heavenly tribulation would be helpful for Mo Qingyun's physical body. After settling everything, Mo Qingyun wasn't in a hurry to leave. Instead, he searched Yunhan Valley for a while. He wanted to see if there were any other treasures in Yunhan Valley. To Mo Qingyun's disappointment, there were no other treasures in Yunhan Valley other than the Cold Cloud Sacred Lotus. Since there are no other gains, let's refine the Sacred Cloud Lotus first and remove the Monolith Curse. Seeing that there were no new gains, Mo Qingyun stopped searching and directly entered the Fortune mainland. The moment Mo Qingyun entered the Fortune mainland, he began to refine the Frost Cloud Holy Lotus to resolve the Boulder Curse in his body. Fire Profound Salamander City, in a majestic palace. At this moment, Jin and the others were seated below the hall respectfully, waiting for instructions from the person above. After listening to your narration, this kid called Mo Qingyun is indeed a hidden danger to our clan. We cannot allow him to continue growing. Shi Zhao's face darkened when he heard the report from Jin and the others. A cold light flashed in his eyes as he said, "However, the Milky Way path is too vast. Even with the yin-yang sky peeking mirror searching, it's difficult to find traces of that kid. After all, he will explore the various secret realms in the Milky Way path and will not stay in one place forever. Brother Shi Zhao, what should we do?" Jin's face darkened when he heard Shi Zhao's analysis. He inquired about Shi Zhao's plan. In order to deal with Mo Qingyun, he had paid a great price. If he couldn't eliminate Mo Qingyun, he wouldn't be able to vent the hatred in his heart. After listening to Shi Jin's question, Shi Xiao pondered for a moment and came up with a plan. He said, I feel that we should immediately contact the elders in the clan and let them use a secret method to enter the Milky Way path and hunt down that kid Mo Qingyan. Brother Shi Xiao, isn't it a little too much to alert the elders in the clan for a true Saint Realm kid? That's right, Wouldn't this make us look too useless? We can't even deal with a true Saint Realm kid. Why don't we try a little harder? When we are really powerless, we can contact the elders in the clan. Hearing Shi Xiao's thoughts, the Heavenly Dragon Stone clan's members voiced their thoughts. No, immediately contact the elders in the clan. That kid is worth it. Shi Xiao rejected everyone's advice without hesitation. With a solemn expression, he said, according to what you said earlier, that kid's growth is too fast. If we let him continue to grow, we can't guarantee that there won't be unforeseen events. Hearing Shi Xiao's words, everyone stopped thinking about it. Shi Xiao's considerations weren't without reason. Immediately, Shi Xiao and the others no longer hesitated. They immediately contacted the elders in the Heavenly Dragonstone clan and asked them to deal with Mo Qingyan. Under Shi Xiao's secret method, the face of an old man appeared in front of them. Greetings, Ancestor Tan. Seeing the old man's face, Shi Xiao and the others immediately bowed respectfully and knelt down to him. I'm speechless. Stand up and speak. Seeing Shi Xiao and the others' actions, Shi Tan nodded and asked Shi Xiao and the others, Shi Xiao, you used the secret method to contact the clan. What kind of trouble have you encountered? Shi Xiao knew very well that Shi Xiao and the others wouldn't have contacted the clan if they hadn't encountered great trouble. Under Shi Xiao's inquiry, Shi Xiao showed a dignified expression and said, replying to old ancestor Shi Xiao, we have indeed encountered great trouble. A kid from the wild continent, with a cultivation of the ninth heaven arcane immortal realm, killed Shi Qiu and the others of our clan and refined them into spirit puppets. Under Shi Xiao's listening, Shi Xiao unhurriedly recounted the whole story. A kid from the wild continent killed Shi Qiu and the others, refined them into spirit puppets, and ignited the fire of civilization. After listening to Shi Xiao's report, Shi Xiao's face immediately turned ugly. It was unknown whether he was angry at Mo Qingyun's actions or shocked by Mo Qingyun's talent. Shi Xiao, you've done well in this matter. I'll discuss it with the others right away. After learning about Mo Qingyun's situation, Shi Xiao did not dare to delay and left after giving some instructions. Seeing Shi Xiao's attitude, Shi Xiao and the others realized how big a threat Mo Qingyun was. Even Shi Xiao was so nervous when he heard about him. It was obvious that the situation was far more complicated than they had thought. Brother Shi Xiao, you've thought it through thoroughly. You immediately understood the seriousness of the matter. I didn't expect that even old ancestor Shi Xiao would be so nervous when he heard about Mo Qingyun. If we had informed the clan earlier, Shi Qiu and the others wouldn't have died, and Brother Shi Tan wouldn't have had to pay such a huge price. After thinking about this, Shi Tan and the others' mood immediately became heavy. They had indeed been too arrogant to have ended up like this. The price of this lesson was too great. Brother Shi Xiao, what should we do next? Discarding the distracting thoughts in his heart, Shi Tan looked at Shi Xiao and asked about his next plan. Chapter 23-27. Hearing Shi Placid's question, Shi Xiao was deep in thought. He was thinking about how to deal with Mo Qingyun. Shi Xiao hesitated for a moment before she said, that brat's growth is too fast. We can't let him cultivate in peace. I'll activate the Yin-Yang Heaven peeking mirror right away to find his hiding spot and interfere with his search for the secret realm. After Shi Xiao finished speaking, he took out a black and white mirror and activated it. Under Shi Xiao's activation, the mirror immediately shone brightly and a huge projection appeared. When Shi Xiao saw the projection appear, he turned to look at Shi Placid and said, Brother Shi Placid, that kid has been hit by your divine power. His body contains your aura. It will be easier to find his hiding place by using your blood as a guide. Hearing Shi Zhao's words, Shi Placid immediately cut his finger and dripped a drop of blood into the yin-yang heavenly mirror. When Shi Placid's blood dripped into the yin-yang heavenly mirror, the yin-yang heavenly mirror flashed with a blood-red light, and the scene in the projection changed. Following that, a clear image appeared on the light screen, constantly changing the scene. If one observed carefully, they would clearly see that the scene in the light screen was the place where Mo Qingyun had been before. Finally, the scene in the light screen froze. It stopped at Yunhan Valley. Strange. From the yin-yang heavenly mirror situation, he should not have left Yunhan Valley. Why can't we find him? Seeing the situation in the yin-yang heavenly mirror, Shi Zhao was puzzled. He did not understand the situation. Hearing Shi Zhao's words, Shi Placid's eyes lit up. He immediately thought of a possibility and said in surprise, "That kid has mastered a divine power that can hide his body and aura for a short period of time. He must have sensed our spying and used the divine power to hide. This kid is indeed difficult to deal with. He is worthy of our high regard." Hearing Shi Placid's explanation, Shi Zhao nodded in understanding. He thought even more highly of Mo Qingyun and said, "In that case, let's wait a little longer for that kid to show himself." For the rest of the time, Shi Zhao and the others waited like that. In the blink of an eye, a few days had passed. Strange. Is that kid not in Yunhan Valley? After waiting for a few days, there was still no sign of Mo Qingyun. Shi Jin was puzzled. From what he knew, Mo Qingyun's concealment didn't last long. This time, he actually hid for a few days. This was a bit too abnormal. Hearing Shi Xian's words, Shi Zhao and the others frowned. Their hearts became heavy. If they couldn't find Mo Qingyun, how could they interfere with Mo Qingyun and stop Mo Qingyun from exploring the mystic realm? Maintaining the yin-yang heaven spying mirror has consumed too much of my mental power. I have to stop immediately. While Shi Jin and the others were puzzled, Shi Zhao revealed a strained expression and her face became a little pale. At this moment, just as Shi Zhao was about to give in, a figure appeared in the image. When they saw this figure, Shi Zhao and the others were shocked. Surprise appeared in their eyes. Mo Qingyun had appeared. It turned out that he had been in Yunhan Valley all this time, but had been hiding. It seems that we have underestimated his ability. The time he can hide is definitely not a short period of time. Seeing Mo Qingyun appear, Shi Jin couldn't help but sigh. He realized his negligence. While Shi Jin sighed, Shi Zhao frowned. Surprise appeared on her face. She said, "That's strange. The yin-yang heaven spying mirror's detection of him seems to have weakened a lot." Hearing Shi Zhao's words, Shi Jin and the others were also surprised. They were very surprised by this situation. While Shi Jin and the others were surprised, Shi Jin's eyelids twitched. His expression was filled with shock. He said, "Oh no, the boulder curse in this kid's body has been removed." How'd he do it? He's only an early-stage true saint, but he can remove the boulder curse. This kid is really monstrous. Knowing that Mo Qingyun had removed the boulder curse, Shi Zhao was also shocked. She thought even more highly of Mo Qingyun. She said in a low voice, "No matter how this kid did it, since we found his hiding place, let's go and disturb him immediately." With Shi Zhao's reminder, everyone didn't want to waste any time and immediately rushed to Yunhan Valley. When everyone set off, the Milky Way road shook violently, as if it had been hit by something. Seeing this, Shi Zhao and the others were delighted. They knew what had happened. The ancestors have used a secret technique and are preparing to enter the Milky Way road. That kid is finished. An early-stage true saint dares to go against our tribe. He's tired of living. Okay, let's not waste any time. Find that kid immediately so that the ancestors can deal with him. After discussing with Shi Zhao and the others, they didn't waste any more time and immediately rushed to Yunhan Valley. While Shi Zhao and the others were rushing to Yunhan Valley, Mo Qingyun returned to the Milky Way road with a joyful expression. "I didn't expect that the tribulation thunder caused by refining Li Hui Dao, Lord, into a spiritual puppet would allow my dragon source overlord body to reach the great success stage. Since the Dragon Source Overlord body has reached the great success stage and the boulder curse has been removed, it's time to find a new mystic realm. After sensing his own situation, Mo Qingyun didn't want to waste any time. He immediately flew out of Yunhan Valley to find a new mystic realm to increase his strength. Not long after Mo Qingyun left Yunhan Valley, he realized that the entire Milky Way road shook violently. What's going on? Could a huge mystic realm have appeared? Noticing the movement on the Milky Way road, Mo Qingyun was shocked. He immediately guessed in his heart. As soon as this thought appeared in his mind, Mo Qingyun felt a sense of urgency. He couldn't wait to rush over there. Just as Mo Qingyun was about to set off, a terrifying spiritual consciousness swept across the Milky Way road. What a powerful spiritual consciousness! Sensing the spiritual consciousness that swept past him, Mo Qingyun was shocked. His eyes flashed with surprise as he said, "These powerful spiritual consciousnesses seem to belong to the experts of the Big Dipper Dragon Rock tribe. Could it be that the experts of the Big Dipper Dragon Rock tribe have entered the Milky Way road? The experts of the Big Dipper Dragon Rock tribe might have entered the Milky Way road because Shi Qiu and the others were killed. They might want to avenge them." Mo Qingyun's mind turned. He thought of a possibility, and his heart immediately sank. Just as Mo Qingyun was thinking about this, several powerful spiritual consciousnesses locked onto him and crushed him. Sure enough, these experts of the Big Dipper Dragon Rock tribe have come specially to deal with me. Mo Qingyun understood this point. He frowned and revealed a regretful expression. He sighed and said, "It seems that I have to leave immediately. I can't stay and continue exploring." Chapter 23-28. Although Mo Qingyun felt that it was a pity that he couldn't continue searching for treasures, he couldn't care less now. Judging from the strength of the spiritual force, the owner of the spiritual force was most likely a galaxy-grade powerhouse. These people were definitely not people that he could fight against at the moment. He couldn't even fight against a peak nebula powerhouse, let alone a galaxy-grade powerhouse. If those people found him, he could only nurse a grievance. This wasn't something he wanted to see. After coming out of Yunhan Valley, Mo Qingyun took out his flying boat and drove it to the exit of the galaxy path. Sometime after Mo Qingyun left Yunhan Valley, a group of people came and started searching the valley. This group of people was Shi Xiao and the others. "Brother Shi Xiao, we can't find that kid in the valley. It seems like he must have left. That kid is really cunning. He always manages to escape without us knowing. Humph. As long as he doesn't leave the galaxy path, he will never be able to shake us off." Seeing that Mo Qingyun wasn't in Yunhan Valley, the people of the Big Dipper Dragon Rock clan were very upset. When they realized that Mo Qingyun had escaped, Shi Xian's face turned ugly. He said to Shi Xiao, who was beside him, "Brother Shi Xiao, please activate the yin-yang sky gazer mirror and check on that kid's whereabouts. Don't let him explore the mystic realm to increase his strength." "All right." Shi Xiao nodded when he heard Shi Xian's request and activated the yin-yang sky gazer mirror. Soon, a bright light screen burst out from the yin-yang sky spymaster mirror and formed an image. As the image appeared, Mo Qingyun's figure appeared in it. He was driving the flying boat as fast as he could. Before long, the image on the light screen stopped, and Mo Qingyun entered a small city. This kid went to the Wind Thunder Lion City. If nothing goes wrong, he should be heading to the Sunflower Water Luanfeng City next. After analyzing the direction Mo Qingyun was rushing in, Shi Xiao came to a conclusion. She then urged everyone by her side, "Immediately depart for Sunflower Luanfeng City and set up an ambush there. Trap that brat in Sunflower Luanfeng City. At that time, when the ancestors arrive, that brat will undoubtedly die." After instructing everyone, Shi Xiao did not delay any longer and immediately rushed towards Sunflower Water Luanfeng City. Mo Qingyun did not know about the pursuit of Shi Xiao and the others. He was currently resting in the Windstorm Lion City. "With my current speed, I should be able to leave the Star River path tomorrow. After calculating the rest of the journey, Mo Qingyun felt slightly more at ease, but he still didn't dare to let down his guard. As time passed, the uneasiness in his heart grew stronger and stronger. Those people have been spying on me, but haven't done anything yet. They must be plotting something. Thinking of this possibility, Mo Qingyun frowned and thought to himself, I have to shake them off before I can return to the wasteland continent. Otherwise, if I lure them into the wasteland continent, the consequences will be unthinkable. When this thought appeared in his mind, Mo Qingyun felt a wave of lingering fear as he thought of a terrible outcome. If the people of the Celestial Dragon Rock clan entered the wasteland continent, it would definitely be a terrifying matter. With their powerful strength, the various major clans of the wasteland continent would not be able to contend against them. At that time, the danger they would pose to the various clans of the wasteland continent would probably be even more serious than the Dark Devil clan. I have to think of a way to distract them. Mo Qingyun pondered for a moment. Then, a ruthless look appeared on his face. He gritted his teeth and said, It seems that I have to give up another incarnation. Let him fake his death in my place and deceive the Sky Dragon Rock clan. Mo Qingyun vaguely remembered that back in the Alchemist Temple, he had used this method to deceive everyone. He only hoped that this time, he could use the same method to deceive the Celestial Dragon Rock clan. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed and appeared on the Fortune continent, summoning Mo Zai to his side. Mo Zai's current cultivation is only at the 9th stage of the 9 Heavens' profound immortal realm. I have to let her break through to the true Saint realm first. Sensing Mo Zai's cultivation, Mo Qingyun frowned and immediately helped Mo Zai to break through. Soon, piles of medicinal crystals surrounded by medicinal energy appeared beside Mo Zai. After taking out a large amount of medicinal crystals, Mo Qingyun asked Mo Zai to cultivate and refine the medicinal crystals around him. Fortunately, Mo Zai's bloodline talent allows her to devour other things to cultivate. Otherwise, it would be difficult for her to break through in a short time. Seeing Mo Zai's performance, Mo Qingyun felt a sense of relief and also started to cultivate at the side. His current situation was not optimistic. Every bit of improvement in his strength was equivalent to an additional layer of protection. Just like that, the rest of the time passed by bit. While Mo Qingyun was cultivating, Shi Xiao and the others arrived at the Sunflower Water Luanfeng city and started to set up a trap to ambush Mo Qingyun. Under Shi Xiao and the others' trap, a few days passed quickly. However, after a few days, Mo Qingyun still did not appear. This caused Shi Xiao and the others to have some interactions. Brother Shi Xiao, Mo Qingyun still hasn't appeared. Could he have left through another route? If he didn't pass by here, wouldn't we have waited for nothing? That kid is as cunning as a fox. Could he have predicted the danger in advance and purposely stayed in hiding? Seeing that Mo Qingyun had not appeared for a long time, Shi Xian and the others started to guess the reason why Mo Qingyun had not come. While everyone was guessing, they all looked at Shi Xiao. They wanted Shi Xiao to use the yin-yang heaven spying mirror to spy on Mo Qingyun's whereabouts. Logically speaking, the Sunflower Water Luanfeng city is a place that one must pass by. Mo Qingyun should have passed by here. Shi Xiao was also very puzzled by Mo Qingyun's absence. Thus, he took out the yin-yang sky peeking mirror after asking this question. Then, Shi Xiao activated the yin-yang heaven spying mirror to spy on Mo Qingyun's whereabouts and hiding place. Under the yin-yang heaven spying mirror surveillance, the image showed the Wind Thunder Lion City and there were no changes. This meant that Mo Qingyun had been in the Wind Thunder Lion City for the past few days and had not left. After a while, Shi Xiao put away the yin-yang heaven spying mirror and said with a solemn expression, "If I'm not wrong, that kid is still in the Wind Thunder Lion City. He just used a secret skill to hide. Let's wait here patiently." Everyone agreed with Shi Xiao's analysis. Previously, Mo Qingyun had used a secret skill to hide in Yunhan Valley. After knowing that Mo Qingyun was still in the Wind Thunder Lion City, Shi Xiao and the others were not in a hurry. They waited in the sunflower water Luan Feng City with peace of mind. Just like that, a few more days passed. At this time, a few terrifying auras suddenly descended in the sunflower water Luan Feng City. Sensing the powerful auras, Shi Xiao and the others immediately came out with an excited expression on their faces. Chapter 23-29. Greetings, ancestors Shi Xiao, Shi Tsang, and Shi Min. Shi Xiao and the others immediately bowed respectfully when they saw the group of people in the sky above the city. No need for formalities. In response to the actions of Shi Xiao and the others, Shi Xiao waved his hand indifferently and said, "Tell us about that boy's situation in detail." Yes. Hearing Shi Xiao's words, Shi Xiao nodded and made an inviting gesture. "Old ancestors, please come with me. I will explain everything to you in detail later." Shi Xiao led the way and brought Shi Xiao and the others to the city lord's mansion to rest. Before long, everyone arrived at the city lord mansion. Shi Xiao began to tell them about Mo Qingyun. Listening to Shi Xiao's narration, the expressions of Shi Xiao and the others kept changing. A short while later, after Shi Xiao finished speaking, Shi Xiao said with a dignified expression, "It seems that this boy's threat is greater than we thought." Shi Min and the others nodded in agreement. They also felt that Mo Qingyun was a great threat. To ensure that nothing goes wrong, Shi Jia and I will make a trip to the Wind Lightning Lion City to prevent that kid from changing his route. Shi Xiao didn't want to waste any time after learning about Mo Qingyun and immediately decided to make a trip to the Wind Lightning Lion City. Shi Xiao and the others agreed when they heard Shi Xiao's idea. They felt that Shi Xiao was right. If they all stayed in the sunflower water Luan Feng City, wouldn't they have waited in vain if Mo Qingyun changed his route? After briefing everyone, the stone puppet left the sunflower water Luan Feng City and rushed towards Wind Thunder Lion City. Inside the Wind Lightning Lion City, a purple-haired youth appeared in a remote corner. It was Mo Zai who had just broken through. "Since they have been monitoring me, I can't change my route. I have to let Mo Zai follow the original route." Mo Qingyun had a plan after letting Mo Zai enter the Milky Way. He decided to let Mo Zai take his place. After arranging Mo Zai's route, Mo Qingyun did not stay any longer. He sent Dao Lord Lihua's puppet out of the Fortune mainland and prepared to let it bring him on his journey. Following that, Dao Lord Li Fire's spirit puppet led Mo Qingyun to the exit of the Path of Stars. Not long after Mo Zai left the Windstorm Lion City, two obscure and powerful auras descended upon the city. When these two terrifying auras descended, they released their divine senses and began to search the Wind Thunder Lion City. What powerful divine senses! These two divine senses were among the divine senses that were searching on the Star River Road. Through the body of Dao Lord Li Fire's spirit puppet, Mo Qingyun sensed two powerful spirit consciousnesses and felt a sense of lingering fear. Thankfully, Mo Zai left quickly. Otherwise, my plan would have failed if the two of them discovered me. Mo Qingyun rejoiced in his heart. Without hesitation, he immediately asked Dao Lord Li Fire to enter the spirit puppet. Mo Qingyun carefully sensed everything about Mo Zai, while he asked Dao Lord Li Fire's spirit puppet to travel on his behalf. Under Mo Qingyun's perception, he realized that Mo Zai's every move was being spied on at all times. Upon realizing this, Mo Qingyun immediately came up with a plan. He told Mo Zai to slow down their speed. He got Mo Zai to slow down, but Dao Lord Li Fire's spirit puppet sped up significantly. As a result, Dao Lord Li Fire's spirit puppet arrived at the exit of the Path of Stars much faster than Mo Zai. Just like that, more than 20 hours later, Dao Lord Li Fire's spirit puppet brought Mo Qingyun to the exit of the Stellar River Path. "I'm finally leaving." Looking at the exit of the Path of Stars in front of him, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and became excited. As long as he left the Path of Stars, he would be completely safe for a short period of time. Mo Qingyun muttered to himself. Without hesitation, he entered the exit. Following that, the scene before Mo Qingyun's eyes blurred, and he returned to the Devil Prison Mountain. When Mo Qingyun returned to the Devil Prison Mountain, Mo Zai, who was in the path of stars, was surrounded by the beast horde. It's good to die in the beast horde. I don't want to fall into the hands of the heavenly constellation dragon rock race, and let them find some clues. Looking at the beast horde that surrounded her, Mo Zai smiled faintly and took the initiative to charge into the beast horde. Following that, Mo Zai fought with the demon beasts in a desperate state. Sunflower Water, Phoenix City, City Lord Residence. Everyone gathered in front of a mirror and looked at the scene in the light screen in surprise. Strange. With Mo Qingyun's cautiousness, how did he get surrounded by demon beasts? Looking at the scene in the yin-yang heaven spying mirror, Shi Xian's eyes flashed with shock. He was very confused. With his understanding of Mo Qingyun, with Mo Qingyun's cautious personality, he would never make such a low-level mistake. However, the truth was right in front of him. He had no choice but to believe it. After a short while, under everyone's nervous gazes, Mo Zai self-destructed. Seeing such a scene, Shi Xiao and the others were all dumbfounded. They were dumbfounded by this scene. Mo Qingyun self-destructed. Didn't this mean that without them doing anything, Mo Qingyun would have been killed? No, with that kid's cunning personality, he would never die so easily. Shi Zhao's mind spun, and she immediately came to a conclusion. She didn't believe that Mo Qingyun would die so easily. Hearing Shi Zhao's words, Shi Xian immediately nodded in agreement. He said in a deep voice, "I've fought with that kid before. Not only is he extremely powerful, but his body is also extremely tough. It's impossible for those demon beasts in the image to kill him. There must be some secret behind this." In the battle earlier, Mo Qingyun didn't use the flames of civilization. That's very strange. Thinking back to the battle earlier, Shi Xiao immediately found the crux of the matter. She pointed out and said, in other words, the Mo Qingyun in the image earlier is very likely just a clone. He purposely created it to confuse us. His original body might have secretly escaped. Hearing Shi Zhao's analysis, everyone immediately came to a realization. They agreed with this explanation. While everyone agreed, they were also filled with anger. They had been tricked by Mo Qingyun again. More importantly, Mo Qingyun might have taken advantage of this time to escape without a trace. Oh no, if Mo Qingyun takes advantage of this time to return to the wasteland continent, we'll be in trouble. Shi Xiao thought of a possibility. Her expression immediately changed, and she hurriedly activated the yin-yang heavenly mirror. Then, Shi Xiao used the yin-yang heavenly mirror to search for Mo Qingyun's figure in the path of the stars. However, to their disappointment, she couldn't find Mo Qingyun's figure even after searching for half a day. This indirectly meant that Mo Qingyun might have left the path of the stars. Chapter 23:30. Contact Shi Zhao's old ancestor immediately and report this matter to him. Guessing that Mo Qingyun might have returned to the wild continent, Shi Xiao showed an anxious expression and hurriedly urged everyone. Hearing Shi Zhao's words, Shermin took out a jade talisman and sent a message to Shi Xiao. Then, Shermin told Shi Xiao what had happened in detail. Learning that Mo Qingyun might have escaped, Shi Xiao and Shi Xiao left Wind Thunderlion City and rushed to Sunflower Water Luanfeng City. A few hours later, with Shi Xiao and Shi Xiao rushing at full speed, they arrived at Sunflower Water Luanfeng City City Lord's Mansion. Brother Shi Tan, that boy might have escaped back to the wild continent. What should we do next? Looking at Shi Xiao above the hall, Shermin showed an inquiring expression, asking for Shi Zhao's opinion. Under everyone's gaze, Shi Zhao's complexion darkened as he said in a cold voice, "That kid's cultivation is only at the initial stage of the Saint Realm, yet he was able to escape unscathed from our pursuit. If his cultivation advances further, it will be even more difficult to deal with him. We can't let him continue to grow. Hearing Shi Zhao's words, Shi Xiao and the others immediately nodded in agreement. Although we can't find the location of the wild continent and directly enter it, we could try to enter through the Star River path. Shi Xiao briefly explained his idea to everyone. Then he ordered, immediately find the people of the wild continent and let them lead us to the entrance of the wild continent. Yes. Hearing Shi Zhao's order, everyone immediately acted to find the powerhouses of the wild continent on the Star River path. It was not easy to find Mo Qingyun, but it was very easy to find the powerhouses of the wild continent. Shi Xiao and the others only searched for a few hours before they caught a few powerhouses of the wild continent and let them lead the way to the entrance of the wild continent. One day later, at the entrance to the wild continent, the stone puppet and the others gathered to try to enter the wild continent. Asterisk Pung. Asterisk as soon as Shi Tan walked into the entrance of the wild continent, a terrifying force shook him back. Seeing this situation, Shi Zhao's expression froze, and his eyes revealed a look of surprise. There was a powerful force inside this entrance that prevented him from entering the wild continent. This was too surprising for him. From the looks of that power just now, it seems to restrict people with a certain level of cultivation from entering the wild continent. The stone puppet thought for a moment and immediately understood the reason. Turning to Shi Xiao and the others, he said, Shi Xiao, try to see if you can enter the wild continent. Yes. At the stone puppet's command, Shi Xiao and the others immediately walked towards the entrance and tried to enter the wild continent. Shi Xiao and the others tried to pass through the entrance. Although it was a little difficult, they still managed to enter the wild continent in the end. Seeing this situation, Xiao Xiao showed a look of understanding, confirming the speculation in his heart. It seems like someone used a secret technique to prevent experts above the starry sky realm from entering the desolate continent. Seeing the performance of Shi Xiao and the others, Shi Xiao analyzed the situation and came to a conclusion. The fact that Shi Xiao and the others were able to enter the wild continent should be because the secret technique is too old and its power is much weaker than before. Hearing Xiao Zhao's analysis, Shi Min and the others also understood why Xiao Xiao couldn't enter. Learning that Xiao Xiao and the others couldn't enter the wild continent, Shi Jin frowned and said with a worried expression, Old ancestor, that kid Mo Qingyun is very strong. I'm afraid that starry sky realm powerhouses won't be able to kill him. Don't worry about this. Xiao Xiao waved his hand at Shi Jin's worry and said, When I return to the clan, we will send Shi Han over. I believe that with Shi Han's strength, dealing with that kid shouldn't be a problem. Hearing the stone puppet's words, Shi Xiao and the others were shocked, the worry in their eyes disappearing. They were very clear about Shi Han's talent. Among the entire Heavenly Dragon Rock clan's younger generation, he could be ranked in the top 5. Although Shi Han was still at the peak of the starry sky realm, ordinary galaxy realm powerhouses wouldn't be able to take advantage of him. While Shi Xiao and the others were talking, Shi Xiao and the others passed through the entrance and returned to the Star River path. Old ancestor, we just checked and found that this entrance is connected to a battlefield. There are many ancient demons inside, but they aren't very strong. After Shi Xiao returned to the Star River path, he explained the situation of the Devil Prison Mountain to everyone in detail and said, In addition, we also found that the cultivation environment in the wild continent is very bad. The world energy here is extremely scarce. No wonder they can't break through to the starry sky realm. Is that so? After hearing Shi Zhao's report, Xiao Zhao's expression changed to one of shock and confusion as he said, It is rumored that the wild continent is a cultivation holy land that is no worse than our heavenly Dipper continent. It seems that the poor cultivation environment of the wild continent is related to the secret technique used to isolate it. Shi Xiao and the others nodded in agreement with Xiao Zhao's analysis. This should be the reason. After talking with everyone for a while, Xiao Xiao looked at Shi Xiao and the others and said, Shi Xiao, you and the others enter the wild continent again and find out Mo Qingyun's identity. Let Shi Han deal with him less trouble. Yes. After Sure Shao and the others accepted the order, they entered the wild continent again. After instructing Sure Shao and the others, Xiao Xiao and the others didn't stay and left the entrance of the wild continent together. Outside the Devil Prison Mountain, after a day of traveling, Mo Qingyun finally left the Devil Prison Mountain and set off for Chunyo City. He didn't know about the arrival of Sure Shao and the others. If he knew that Sure Shao and the others had entered the wild continent, he would be shocked. With Sure Shao and the others' strength, they would definitely overturn the situation in the wild continent. After being in the Star River Path for so long, I wonder how the Immortal Palace of Fortune is doing. Did the Dark Demon race attack the Immortal Palace of Fortune? On the way back to the Immortal Palace of Fortune, Mo Qingyun was a little worried. He was afraid that the Dark Demon race would attack the Immortal Palace of Fortune. When Mo Qingyun thought of the Dark Demon race, his face turned ugly. A trace of frost appeared on his face as he said, "When I return to the Immortal Palace of Fortune, whether the Dark Demon race attack or not, I will flatten them and solve this problem once and for all." After that, Mo Qingyun rushed back to Chunyo City with an anxious heart. Just like that, Mo Qingyun rushed for 10 days and finally arrived in front of Chunyo City. At this moment, boom, 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 a burst of fierce fighting sounds came from Chunyo City. Not good. The Immortal Palace of Fortune is in trouble. Noticing the movement in the city, Mo Qingyun's expression immediately changed. He knew that the Immortal Palace of Fortune was in trouble. Chapter 23:31. Outside the Palace of Creation. ZK, as the divine ancestor of my clan, why did you abandon yourself and listen to Mo Qingyun's orders? An arrogant young man stood in the air above the Palace of Creation, looking down at ZK from above. This young man was none other than the third holy son of the Dark Demon clan, Zi Yunxiao. ZK's expression was solemn in response to Zi Yunxiao's persuasion. He said in a low voice, "Zi Yunxiao, my master is a man of great talent and vision. He will definitely unify the wild continent in the future. Take your clansmen and leave immediately, lest you cause trouble for my clan." Zi Yunxiao's expression immediately turned ugly when he heard ZK's words. A cold light flashed in his eyes. He said, "ZK, I have given you many chances to repent. Since you don't know how to cherish them, don't blame me for ignoring our clan ties." Zi Yunxiao ordered the people beside him. He shouted coldly, "Since the protective array of the Palace of Creation has been broken, let's not waste any more time. Let's flatten it." Yes. Hearing Zi Yunxiao's order, the experts of the Dark Devil tribe immediately responded and rushed into the Palace of Creation. Facing the Dark Devil race's attack, Han Liu and the others immediately went up to block the Dark Devil race's attack. ZK's face darkened when he saw that. His expression was filled with fury as he shouted, "Zi Yunxiao, tell them to stop immediately. What you're doing right now is bringing my clan to eternal damnation." Zi Yunxiao was disappointed when he heard ZK's persuasion. He looked at ZK with disdain and shook his head. "ZK, you have disappointed me. I originally thought that you were someone who could achieve great things. I did not expect you to be so cowardly. No wonder you have fallen so low as to submit to Mo Qingyun." ZK did not refute Zi Yunxiao's mockery. Instead, his eyes were filled with disappointment. He had not expected Zi Yunxiao to become so arrogant and conceited. He had lost all his previous restraint. When he saw that ZK was silent, Zi Yunxiao's expression became even more smug. "ZK, I don't mind telling you that I have already planted 10,000 different bloodlines. Furthermore, I have fused them together to form a bloodline that is above the 10,000 ancient races. With the support of 10,000 different bloodline powers, even a Nebula Realm powerhouse might not be Zi Yunxiao's match." ZK's expression trembled when he heard Zi Yunxiao's words. Shock flashed through his eyes as he thought in surprise. Looks like Zi Yunxiao has rarely met an opponent on the current savage continent. I wonder if Master will be able to contend against him after returning from the Milky Way. At this instant, ZK finally understood why Zi Yunxiao was so arrogant. Seeing ZK's uncertain expression, Zi Yunxiao's expression became even more complacent. He said, ZK, you should give up resisting. Even if Mo Qingyun returns now, he will still die under my sword. Just as Zi Yunxiao finished speaking, a figure flew over. When they saw this figure, not only was ZK dumbfounded, but Zi Yunxiao was also stunned. Mo Qingyun had returned. Wasn't this too much of a coincidence? I would like to see how you will kill me. Mo Qingyun's expression was cold as he looked at Zi Yunxiao, who was not far away. He questioned him. Zi Yunxiao, the reason you've been able to live until now is because you've always been like a stray dog, hiding and not daring to meet me. Otherwise, you would have been reduced to ashes long ago. Mo Qingyun, don't boast shamelessly. Today, I will show you how big the gap is between you and me. When he heard Mo Qingyun's mocking words, Zi Yunxiao's face darkened as he spoke angrily. Following which, Zi Yunxiao no longer hesitated and took the initiative to attack Mo Qingyun. Facing Zi Yunxiao's attack, Mo Qingyun did not panic at all. He calmly summoned the Stone Hill spiritual puppet and the others. Go and deal with the dark demon race. After summoning the Stone Hill spiritual puppet and the others, Mo Qingyun instructed them before slowly looking at Zi Yunxiao. Sensing the aura of the Stone Hill spiritual puppet and the others, ZK and the others were shocked and overjoyed. Nebula Realm spiritual puppet. Master actually refined a Nebula Realm spiritual puppet. The Dark Demon race's attack is no longer a concern. Not only is it no longer a concern, we must make sure that the Dark Demon race does not return this time, and let them know the consequences of invading the Creation Immortal Palace. Once we've dealt with these Dark Devils, we'll go and flatten the nest of the Dark Devils. When they saw the Stone Hill spiritual puppet and the others joining the battle, Han Leo and the others were overjoyed and excited. Li, Dao Lordly Fire. When he caught sight of Dao Lordly Fire's puppet, Zi Yunxiao's expression was one of shock. He was shocked by this scene. He really did not expect Dao Lordly Fire and the others to be killed by Mo Qingyun and refined into spiritual puppets. Mo Qingyun was able to kill Dao Lordly Fire and the others. This means that his strength has reached the Nebula Realm. Seeing this, Zi Yunxiao's gaze towards Mo Qingyun changed greatly. In this way, it will be much more difficult for him to deal with Mo Qingyun. 10,000 blood to origin. When he arrived in front of Mo Qingyun, Zi Yunxiao struck out with his palm and a terrifying blood aura erupted from his body. Then, this terrifying blood aura turned into a huge blood shadow and pounced towards Mo Qingyun. When this blood shadow was formed, it exuded a terrifying aura that was comparable to Shi Qiu's. The power of this palm is indeed not weak and has reached the Nebula Realm. However, it's still not enough to deal with me. In the face of the blood shadow's attack, Mo Qingyun commented calmly and struck out with his palm. Then, an even more powerful palm shadow blasted out from Mo Qingyun's palm. Puff, puff, puff. Under the power of Mo Qingyun's palm, the blood shadow immediately dissipated and disappeared. After the huge flaming palm dispersed the blood shadow, it blasted towards Zi Yunxiao and imprinted itself on his body. Bang! Under the attack of the huge flaming palm, Zi Yunxiao was immediately sent flying. His face was filled with shock. He really couldn't believe that even though his cultivation had greatly improved, he still wasn't a match for Mo Qingyun's one move. Puff! When Zi Yunxiao stabilized his body, he spat out a mouthful of blood. His face was as pale as paper as he said in shock, How? How could this be? Your strength. How did it improve so much? There are some things that a frog in a well like you will never understand. Mo Qingyun indifferently shook his head in response to Zi Yunxiao's shocked words. He said, Zi Yunxiao, you told me earlier that you wanted me to see the difference between us. Could this be the difference you were talking about? Chapter 23:32. Since you have nothing else to say, let me show you how big the gap between us is. Upon seeing Zi Yunxiao's silence, Mo Qingyun's expression turned cold, and he started to counterattack. Dragon, Source Tyrant Body. Sacred Glory Mystic Ability, Ignite. Sacred Flame of Civilization, Demonic Star Splitting Palm. Mo Qingyun didn't hold back and displayed his full strength the moment he made his move. Suddenly, a Thunder Domain and a Flame Domain appeared around Mo Qingyun. Bang! 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 Under the attack of the Sacred Glory Mystic Ability, balls of fire started to appear on Zi Yunxiao's body. When the balls of fire appeared on Zi Yunxiao's body, they started to burn his body, causing burn wounds in the blink of an eye. At the same time, a huge flaming palm shadow appeared above Zi Yunxiao's head. 10,000 Blood Sacred Glory Fist. Zi Yunxiao didn't dare hesitate in the face of the incoming flaming palm. He immediately threw a punch at the flaming palm. When Zi Yunxiao's fist landed, a huge blood-red fist shadow blasted out from his fist. Bang! When the bloody fist shadow blasted against the flaming palm, a huge explosion occurred and a bloody light shot into the sky. With a soaring blood-red light appeared, the blood-red fist shadow was defeated and dissipated bit by bit. After destroying the bloody fist shadow, the flaming palm's attack didn't slow down. It quickly landed on Zi Yunxiao's body. Bang! Zi Yunxiao was immediately sent flying by the attack of the giant flaming palm. His injuries became even more serious. At the same time, the aura that Zi Yunxiao exuded also weakened. The power of his sacred flame of civilization is even stronger than before. Zi Yunxiao was shocked that Mo Qingyun's injuries had worsened. He panicked and said, "This kid is too strong. If I don't break through to the galaxy grade, I won't be a match for him. I have to leave this place immediately." As soon as this thought appeared in his mind, Zi Yunxiao didn't dare stay any longer. He wanted to leave this dangerous place. Then, Zi Yunxiao turned around and fled. He didn't dare continue fighting with Mo Qingyun. Seeing Zi Yunxiao's actions, Mo Qingyun revealed a look of disdain. He sneered and said, "Zi Yunxiao, weren't you very arrogant earlier? Didn't you threaten to kill me? Why are you running for your life like a stray dog now?" While he was mocking Zi Yunxiao, Mo Qingyun did not remain idle. He immediately chased after Zi Yunxiao. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed a few times before he caught up with Zi Yunxiao and blocked his path. Seeing that his path was blocked, Zi Yunxiao immediately panicked. His face paled as he begged for mercy. "Mo Qingyun, I know I was wrong. Please give me a chance to change. I'm willing to be like sacred ancestor ZK and listen to your orders. From the moment you made a move against Ling Long, your death was already decided. Just accept your death in peace." Mo Qingyun directly rejected Zi Yunxiao's request and sent another palm strike towards Zi Yunxiao. If Zi Yunxiao had not heavily injured Qian Ling Long, Long Han Yin would not have merged with Qian Ling Long and completely disappeared from the world. Therefore, only by killing Zi Yunxiao could he vent the hatred in his heart. Zi Yunxiao was not Mo Qingyun's match even when he was in peak condition, let alone now when he was heavily injured. Facing Mo Qingyun's palm strike, Zi Yunxiao could not resist at all. He was sent flying by Mo Qingyun's palm strike. After being sent flying by Mo Qingyun's palm strike once again, Zi Yunxiao immediately spat out a mouthful of blood. His aura became much weaker. Stabilizing his body, Zi Yunxiao revealed a puzzled expression and roared, "Why? Why can you accept ZK's submission, but not mine? Whether it's my intelligence or potential, ZK can't compare to me. You're wrong. In some aspects, you're far inferior to Z Quebec." In response to Zi Yunxiao's question, Mo Qingyun indifferently shook his head and his expression turned cold. Back in the ancestral tomb of the sorcerer faction, if ZK had not repeatedly given him chances, he definitely would not have been able to hold on until the end of the King Devourer's inheritance. In other words, ZK's actions back then had indirectly saved Mo Qingyun and Zi Yunxiao's lives. Because of this, Mo Qingyun had given ZK the chance to submit after capturing him. Xiao was different. He was the one who had caused Long Hanyun's death. How could Mo Qingyun spare him? Of course, Xiao would not understand these things. I've already said what I wanted to say. Now, it's time to send you on your way. After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he did not wait for Xiao to speak again before he sent a palm strike towards Xiao. Under Mo Qingyun's palm strike, a giant flaming palm engulfed Xiao. No, I don't want to die. Xiao's eyes widened as he was attacked by the giant flaming palm strike. He was unwilling to accept this outcome. Before Xiao could finish speaking, his voice was cut off. He had been destroyed by Mo Qingyun's palm strike. After killing Xiao, Mo Qingyun looked at the other members of the Dark Demon clan and scanned the surrounding battle situation. With the addition of the Chiu's spiritual puppet and the others, the immortal palace of creation had the absolute upper hand and were encircling and suppressing the experts of the Dark Demon clan. The remaining experts of the Dark Demon clan were struggling at death's door and could be killed at any time. It's time to end this. Mo Qingyun scanned the battle situation and stopped observing. He immediately attacked the people of the Dark Demon clan. In the face of Mo Qingyun's powerful attack, the experts of the Dark Demon clan could not resist at all. In the blink of an eye, several of them were killed by Mo Qingyun. In a short while, under Mo Qingyun's domineering attack, the experts of the Dark Demon clan were all killed. Han Liu, bring some people to clean up the battlefield. After killing all the people of the Dark Demon clan, Mo Qingyun instructed Han Liu and walked into the immortal palace of creation. Seeing Mo Qingyun walk into the immortal palace of creation, ZK and the others followed. They knew that Mo Qingyun had something to tell them. After a while, everyone arrived at the meeting hall and found a place to sit down. After everyone was seated, ZK stood up and revealed an expression of self-reproach. He said, "Master, this old servant was unable to persuade Xiao. Please punish me." Seeing ZK's actions, Mo Qingyun shook his head and said, "I can still distinguish right from wrong. This has nothing to do with you. It is enough that you have been able to guard the immortal palace of creation." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, ZK was touched and was even more convinced by Mo Qingyun. It was obvious that Mo Qingyun would not take his anger out on others because of Xiao's actions. ZK rejoiced when he thought of this. His decision to follow Mo Qingyun back then had been the wisest decision he had made. "Qingyun, you have refined a Nebula Realm spiritual puppet. Does that mean Sacred Palace of Qianyo is no longer a concern?" After ZK finished speaking, Qian Linglong smiled sweetly and asked Mo Qingyun, Chapter 23:33. The Qianyo Sacred Hall is just a small fry. You don't have to worry about it. Mo Qingyun gave a simple reply to Qian Linglong's question. Then he added with a solemn expression, "During my trip to the Galaxy Path, I made an enemy out of a powerful race. In order to prevent them from coming to the desolate continent, we have to raise our cultivation base as soon as possible before they arrive." Everyone was shocked when they heard Mo Qingyun's words. Their expressions turned grave. They could tell that the powerful race that Mo Qingyun had mentioned was definitely extremely terrifying. "Qingyun, how is the strength of the powerful race you mentioned compared to the Dark Demon race?" Qian Linglong asked Mo Qingyun nervously when she heard Mo Qingyun's words. Mo Qingyun shook his head immediately when he heard Qian Linglong ask about the strength of the Big Dipper Dragon Rock race. The Dark Demon race and the Big Dipper Dragon Rock race can't be compared at all. They aren't even on the same level. Everyone was shocked when they heard Mo Qingyun's words. They all stared at each other in dismay. They knew very well how powerful the Dark Demon race was. According to Mo Qingyun's words, the Dark Demon race wasn't even worth mentioning in front of the Big Dipper Dragon Rock race. In this way, the strength of the Big Dipper Dragon Rock race was immediately displayed. While everyone was still in shock, Mo Qingyun continued speaking. "According to what I know, there might be a peak galaxy-grade powerhouse overseeing the Big Dipper Dragon Rock race. Peak galaxy-grade. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Qian Linglong and the others were stunned. Their hearts were in turmoil. They finally understood why Mo Qingyun had said that the Qianyo Sacred Hall was just a small fry. Compared to the Big Dipper Dragon Rock race, the Qianyo Sacred Hall was indeed as weak as an ant. Although the Big Dipper Dragon Rock race is very powerful, everyone shouldn't be too worried. They shouldn't be able to come for a while. Looking at the solemn expressions of the crowd, Mo Qingyun comforted them again, making them feel a little more at ease. After comforting everyone, Mo Qingyun continued, "Before the Big Dipper Dragon Rock race arrives, let's deal with some hidden dangers first so that we won't be attacked from both sides." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, everyone immediately understood that they had to fight back against Qianyo Temple and the Dark Demons. After expressing his thoughts, Mo Qingyun stood up and made his way out of the hall. He said, "Everyone, make your preparations over the next few days. Once I've rearranged the protective formation, we'll go destroy the Qianyo Sacred Hall." Yes. When they heard Mo Qingyun's instructions, everyone immediately nodded and left the hall one after another. Mo Qingyun walked out of the hall and started to set up the sect-protecting array to increase the defensive power of the immortal palace of creation. The previous sect-protecting array was too weak and couldn't defend against a Nebula Realm powerhouse. This time, I have to set up a stronger one. Looking at the destroyed sect-protecting array, Mo Qingyun had a plan. He condensed powerful saint runes. While Mo Qingyun was setting up the sect-protecting array, Xuelong and the others didn't stay idle and assisted Mo Qingyun. 9 days later, with the efforts of Mo Qingyun and the others, the sect-protecting array was completed. Since the sect-protecting array is completed, it's time to destroy Qianyo Temple. After setting up the sect-protecting array, Mo Qingyun didn't want to waste any time and immediately gathered Han Liu and the others. Immediately, Mo Qingyun led Han Liu and the others to Qianyo Temple. When Mo Qingyun went to Qianyo Temple, he didn't bring the Qiu spiritual puppet and the others. He left them behind to guard the immortal palace of creation. After experiencing Zi Yunxiao's attack, Mo Qingyun didn't dare to be careless in the slightest. He didn't want the immortal palace of creation to be in danger again. With the Qiu spiritual puppet and the others guarding, the immortal palace of creation wouldn't be in danger unless the celestial dragon Ra clan came. A few days later, Mo Qingyun and the others rushed at full speed and arrived in front of Qianyo Temple's mountain gate. It's worthy of being a force that dominates a region. The mountain gate is really magnificent. Looking at the mountain gate of Qianyo Temple in front of him, Han Liu had a rueful expression and said, hearing Han Liu's words, ZK's face was calm as he said indifferently, "It's just that the mountain gate is magnificent. Given enough time, the immortal palace of creation will be even more magnificent in the future." Han Liu and the others nodded in agreement with ZK's words. Now, there were even Nebula Realm spiritual puppets in the immortal palace of creation. This was something that no other force could compare to. Furthermore, Mo Qingyun's current strength was far beyond that of an ordinary Nebula Realm powerhouse. Just based on these 2 points, it was enough to make any force in the Wasteland continent look up to the immortal palace of creation. All right, let's go. While everyone was talking at once, Mo Qingyun raised his foot and walked forward, giving instructions to everyone. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, everyone immediately followed him and walked towards the entrance of Qianyo Temple. "Stop right there." Seeing Mo Qingyun and the others approaching, the disciple guarding the mountain gate of Qianyo Temple immediately shouted angrily. However, before he could finish his words, he was sent flying by Han Liu's palm strike and died with a shocked expression on his face. He would never have thought that someone would actually dare to attack him in front of the mountain gate of Qianyo Temple. Seeing that the person beside him had been killed, The other disciples guarding the mountain gate immediately sent a message to the mountain gate. Mo Qingyun didn't stop the actions of the disciples guarding the mountain gate. Instead, he looked at them calmly. In his opinion, regardless of whether Qianyo Temple was alerted or not, the outcome wouldn't change. After receiving the message from the disciples guarding the mountain gate, the powerhouses of Qianyo Temple immediately rushed to the mountain gate. Soon, several Sage Realm powerhouses of Qianyo Temple arrived in front of the mountain gate. The leader of the group was an old man, Immortal Vortex Wind, whom Mo Qingyun was familiar with. Mo Qingyun, it's you. Seeing Mo Qingyun not far in front of him, Immortal Vortex Wind revealed a shocked expression. His face was filled with shock. He really didn't expect that Mo Qingyun would bring people and take the initiative to invade Qianyo Temple. More importantly, now that the Golden Eye Human Emperor and Dao Lord Li Hua weren't around, he didn't have full confidence in stopping Mo Qingyun. Immortal Vortex Wind, how have you been? Looking at the shocked Immortal Vortex Wind, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly. It was as if he was greeting an old friend. Mo Qingyun's greeting caused Immortal Vortex Wind's expression to tremble. He said in a panic, Mo Qingyun, don't push your luck. If you continue to go against Qianyo Temple, it won't do you or the Fortune Immortal Palace any good. Ha, is that so? Mo Qingyun didn't care about Immortal Vortex Wind's warning at all. He said with a calm expression, I clearly remember that when you escaped Qianyo City, you said that you would take revenge on me in the future. Since you didn't come, I had no choice but to take the initiative. Chapter 23:34. By the way, I've already killed the Golden Eye Human Emperor and Dao Lord Li Hua on the path of the stars. Under Immortal Vortex Wind's shocked gaze, Mo Qingyun calmly recounted some of his deeds. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Immortal Vortex Wind and the others trembled, their faces filled with shock. The reason why Sacred Hall of Qianyo was able to stand until now was all because of the Golden Eye Human Emperor, Dao Lord Li Hua, and Immortal Vortex Wind. If the two of them died, Sacred Hall of Qianyo would suffer a great loss in strength and vitality, and would no longer be able to intimidate other factions. More importantly, if Mo Qingyun could kill the two of them, he would definitely be able to kill them as well. No, impossible. With the strength of the two human emperors, there's no way they would be killed by this kid. This kid has only just entered the Saint Realm. He doesn't have that kind of strength. He must be trying to use this to attack us. Oomph. You're too naive if you want to use this to break our fighting spirit. Don't waste your breath. Just capture him, and everything will be solved. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, some of the elders of Sacred Hall of Qianyo immediately looked doubtful. Seeing the reaction of the people of Sacred Hall of Qianyo, Mo Qingyun put his hands behind his back and looked down on them, saying, Don't be in a hurry to act. If I'm not wrong, there should be the soul jade tablets of the Golden Eye Human Emperor and the others in Sacred Hall of Qianyo. You'll know when you go there. If not for the fact that he didn't bring Dao Lord Li Hua's puppet, Mo Qingyun would have summoned Dao Lord Li Hua's puppet to verify it. Elders, would you go take a look? At Mo Qingyun's reminder, Immortal Vortex Wind's expression changed, and he gave a look to someone beside him. Under Immortal Vortex Wind's instructions, that person immediately left to check the soul jade tablets of the two human emperors. Then, everyone waited for Zhuju to return and confirm whether the two were dead or alive. Not long after, Zhuju returned with a heavy expression while everyone waited. Seeing Zhuju's expression, Immortal Vortex Wind's eyelids twitched and a strong sense of foreboding rose within him. From the looks of it, Jin Tong and the Ren Huang had really met with misfortune. This was not good news. Elders Zhuju, what's the situation of the two soul jade tablets? Seeing Zhuju walk up to him, Vortex Wind Immortal showed a nervous expression and immediately asked. Although he had already guessed that the situation was definitely not optimistic, he still had a trace of hope. The soul jade tablets of the human emperor and the Dao Lord have shattered. Under the nervous gazes of the Vortex, Old Immortal, and the others, Zhuju had a heavy expression as he answered with difficulty. Zhuju's answer made Whirlwind Immortal tremble. His face turned pale. This news was like a bolt from the blue to them. Then, everyone looked at Mo Qingyun with fear in their eyes. Mo Qingyun was not lying. He had really killed Renwang Jintong and the others. If that was the case, they would definitely die if Mo Qingyun and the others attacked them. Since you figured it out, be at ease and die knowing the truth. Seeing the reactions of Vortex, Wind Immortal, and the others, Mo Qingyun didn't want to waste any more words and immediately ordered Han Liu and the others to come down. At Mo Qingyun's command, Han Liu and the others moved in charge at the experts of Sacred Hall of Qianyo. In the face of Han Liu and the others, the experts of Sacred Hall of Qianyo immediately fell into a passive position. Vortex Wind Immortal, you didn't think this day would come for you, did you? After instructing Han Liu and the others to attack, Mo Qingyun looked at Vortex Wind Immortal and asked, "That day in Qianyo City, you used your cultivation to bully me. Now that I've broken through to the Sage Realm, let me spar with you again." Dragon Origin Tyrant Body. Sacred Brilliance Combat Art. Ignite. Fire of Civilization. Demonic Star-Splitting Palm. As soon as Mo Qingyun attacked, he didn't hold back at all and attacked Vortex Wind Immortal with all his might. Bam bam bam. Under the influence of the Sacred Brilliance Combat Art, the surrounding experts of Sacred Hall of Qianyo immediately ignited with a threatening aura of flames. Under the burning of these flames, some of the people with lower cultivation were directly burned to ashes. Compared to the others, Vortex Wind Immortal's situation was even worse as he was still suffering from the impact of the lightning force. Under the pressure of these two forces, Vortex Wind Immortal was immediately seriously injured and spat out a mouthful of blood. So strong. Being seriously injured by the two forces, Vortex Wind Immortal was greatly shocked and panic flashed in his eyes. Before the Vortex Elder Immortal could calm his panic, a huge flaming palm came crashing down on him. Looking at the approaching flaming palm, Vortex Wind Immortal's body trembled and his face turned as white as paper. How can this be? This kid is just a newly ascended sage. How can he be so strong? Tornado, Flood Dragon Break. Despite his great shock, Vortex Wind Immortal didn't wait for death and punched out at the flaming palm. As the Vortex Elder Immortal swung his fist, an enormous vortex rapidly formed around the Vortex Elder Immortal's body and crashed into the flaming palm. Boom! A loud noise was heard. Under the bombardment of the flaming palm, the vortex immediately collapsed and disappeared in the blink of an eye. As the vortex collapsed, the flaming palm's attack didn't diminish and engulfed Vortex Wind Immortal. No! Struck by the flaming palm, Whirlwind Immortal screamed miserably and was blasted into the ground. Seeing the situation of Mo Qingyun and Vortex Wind Immortal's battle, the surrounding experts of Sacred Hall of Qianyo all showed a look of despair. Even with Vortex Wind Immortal's strength, he couldn't even take a single blow from Mo Qingyun, let alone them. It seemed that they were doomed today. After killing Vortex Wind Immortal with one palm, Mo Qingyun didn't attack again to kill the others of Sacred Hall of Qianyo. With the strength of ZK and the others, it wasn't difficult to deal with the people of Sacred Hall of Qianyo. Not long after, the experts of Sacred Hall Qianyo were all killed under ZK and the others' attacks. Han Liu, go with Yi Hai and loot the treasury of Sacred Hall of Qianyo. Seeing that the experts of Sacred Hall of Qianyo had been killed, Mo Qingyun ordered Han Liu. He then turned to ZK and said, "ZK, go to Sacred Hall of Qianyo and kill the remaining saints." Yes. Hearing Mo Qingyun's order, ZK and the others immediately responded and entered Sacred Hall of Qianyo. After giving the order to ZK and the others, Mo Qingyun gazed into the distance, and a wisp of coldness surged into his eyes. He said, "Since Divine Palace Qianyo has been destroyed, it's time to deal with the Dark Devil race." Chapter 23:35. Not long after, Han Liu and the others returned to Mo Qingyun's side. Master, everything is settled. When ZK arrived in front of Mo Qingyun, he revealed a serious expression and reported to Mo Qingyun. Following ZK's words, Han Liu took out a storage ring and handed it to Mo Qingyun, saying, Master, all the treasures in St. Palace Hall's treasury have been taken into this ring. After receiving the storage ring from Han Liu, Mo Qingyun nodded and turned to walk out of the sacred palace of Qianyu. Since the matter is settled, let's return to the Palace of Fortune. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, ZK and the others hurriedly followed and returned to the Palace of Fortune. A few days later, Mo Qingyun and the others returned to the Palace of Fortune. When ZK and the others returned to the Palace of Fortune, they went into seclusion to improve their cultivation. While everyone was in seclusion, Mo Qingyun returned to his residence and began to take inventory of St. Palace Hall's treasures. St. Palace Hall was indeed a force that had stood tall for countless years. The number of treasures in the sect's treasury was shocking. The number of various cultivation resources had reached a terrifying level. With these cultivation resources, the Palace of Fortune will not have to worry about the lack of cultivation resources for the next 10,000 years. Looking at the dazzling array of cultivation resources in front of him, Mo Qingyun's face was filled with joy as he spoke excitedly. Thump, thump, thump. While Mo Qingyun was taking inventory of the items in front of him, his heartbeat suddenly sped up, as if it was being pulled by something. Following his body's reaction, Mo Qingyun's gaze fell on a black door of light. This door of light was only the size of a palm and looked very ordinary. However, it had a strange power. This black door-shaped magic treasure seems to have some kind of connection with me. Holding the black door of light in his hand, Mo Qingyun's eyes flashed with curiosity as he carefully examined it. Just as Mo Qingyun was sizing up the black door of light, a terrifying suction force acted on his body. As this power devoured him, Mo Qingyun discovered that his own life force had started to drain rapidly. What a terrifying, devouring power. It can actually devour my life force. Mo Qingyun was startled when he sensed his life force slipping away. He hurriedly resisted the devouring power. Buzz, buzz, buzz. While Mo Qingyun was still in shock, a familiar feeling that he hadn't felt in a long time suddenly appeared in his body. This feeling, Mo Qingyun was pleasantly surprised when he discovered the familiar feeling in his body. His mood also became excited. While Mo Qingyun was pleasantly surprised, he discovered that a shadow of a door of light had appeared in his sea of consciousness. Gate of Fortune. Armadillo Immortal Domain, Armadillo Temple, in a luxurious hall. At this moment, the hall was filled with people, each with a greedy expression, as if they were coveting some treasure. Everyone, what do you think about the destruction of the Qianyu Temple? Armadillo Tsang, the temple master of the Armadillo Temple, glanced at the people in the hall and asked for their opinions. Hearing Armadillo Tsang's question, the people immediately began to discuss and whisper to each other. Temple Master Armadillo Tsang, I think the strength of the Palace of Fortune is not as strong as the rumors say. I think so too. How long has it been since a Nebula Realm expert appeared in the Wasteland continent? Why would a small Palace of Fortune appear? In my opinion, it should be that the Golden Eye Human Emperor and the others entered the path of the stars and died there, which allowed the Palace of Fortune to take advantage of the situation. I agree with Temple Master Yangpan. It must be that the Golden Eye Human Emperor and the others met with misfortune in the path of the stars. The heritage of the Qianyu Temple is richer than any of our temples. The treasures collected are innumerable. How can a small Palace of Fortune take advantage of them? After some discussion, the people began to feel disdain for the Palace of Fortune and wanted to take action against it. Seeing everyone's attitude, Armadillo Tsang's smile faded. He nodded in satisfaction and said, No matter what, this palace of creation has broken the balance. We can't let it continue to exist. We have to destroy it. Little friend Mo, I taught Qin Hong's cultivation method to Ko-Xin in order to improve her ability to protect herself on the path of stars. I hope you won't blame me for this. Senior 2 Mo, you're too serious. Mo Qingyun immediately waved his hand in response to Qin 2 Mo's words. I gave you Qin Hong's cultivation method before, so it's already yours. You can do whatever you want with it. No need to ask for my opinion. Little friend Mo, thank you. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Qin 2 Mo bowed gratefully and didn't say anything else. Sometimes, you don't need to use flowery words to thank someone. After bowing gratefully to Mo Qingyun, Qin 2 Mo and ZK left and were taken to rest by Z Quebec. While Qin 2 Mo and ZK were resting, a terrifying and powerful aura descended upon Cheonyo City. The appearance of these powerful auras immediately alarmed the people in the city, causing them to look up at the sky one by one. Under everyone's gaze, they saw figures flying toward the immortal palace of creation. Chapter 23:38. Why are you all dumbfounded? Weren't you all very arrogant just now? Looking at the dumbfounded Armadillo Tsang and the others, Mo Qingyun's face was full of contempt as he swept his gaze across the crowd. Under Mo Qingyun's gaze, Armadillo Tsang and the others trembled and lowered their heads. After witnessing Mo Qingyun's terrifying strength, they no longer had any thoughts of resisting because it was useless. Seeing the reaction of Armadillo Tsang and the others, Mo Qingyun's disdain for them immediately became even stronger. He said coldly, "From today onwards, there will no longer be any major temples in the prison wasteland domain. Only the palace of creation will dominate the world." Mo Qingyun had already thought it through. In order to prevent the Palace of Creation from being attacked from both sides when the Big Dipper Dragon Rock clan arrived, what he needed to do now was to unify the entire wasteland domain before the Big Dipper Dragon Rock clan arrived. The Palace of Creation would dominate the world. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, ZK and the others immediately became excited and their blood boiled. Mo Qingyun's words right now were unparalleled and domineering. Kill! Mo Qingyun did not waste any time talking nonsense with Armadillo Tsang and the others, and directly ordered ZK and the others. Hearing Mo Qingyun's order, ZK and the others immediately pounced on Armadillo Tsang and the others. When ZK and the others attacked, they did not hold back in the slightest as they all took out their Saint Power Star clusters. As the Saint Power Star clusters were taken out, the aura of ZK and the others immediately became several times stronger. Seeing ZK and the others' performance, Armadillo Tsang and the others were shocked, and their eyes flashed with horror. These people's cultivation is clearly not high. How can their aura be so terrifying? Cultivation method. It must be their cultivation method, which is of a higher level than ours. That's right, their cultivation method is the same as Vortex, Wind, Immortal, and the others. Seeing ZK and the others' Saint Power Star clusters, the expressions of Armadillo Tsang and the others changed drastically, and their eyes were filled with envy. They had fought with the Vortex Immortal and the others before and knew how powerful the Saint Power Star cluster was. It could increase one's strength by leaps and bounds. In the face of ZK and the others, Armadillo Tsang and the others were suppressed with just one photo. Bang, bang, bang. Some of the elders with weaker cultivations were seriously injured and lost their ability to fight in the face of Han Liu and the others' attacks. Seeing this scene, Armadillo Tsang and the others were shocked once again, their faces pale with fright. When they saw the strength displayed by ZK and the others, they already knew that their side wasn't a match for them.